right, let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safely Liquid Beer for the podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful. That cake's hot.
It's the 6 o'clock check-in. Come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
It's not static. AM radio.
It's the Cool Bed Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromala intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
.04 on a Monday morning, and we are so back. We are so back. Overtime win. Oh, my God. Preseason. I can't get enough of it injected into my veins. What's happening?
Well, you're also back to the show. Welcome back. You weren't here Friday.
How was Friday?
Welcome back to
how
your
was
show.
Friday? How was
we
the
had
beer?
a great time. We had a great time. Tom was here. The beer was here.
Excellent.
This is
Wow, it's
a Friday show. It
sounds like I missed a ton.
Yeah.
It's good to be back on a Monday. Actually, I think I'm going to be doing a stretch here of like at least 2 weeks in a row, every single show. No CFL games for me this week. Apparently, I'm not good enough to make the roster. And then next week, I only have the Edmonton Elks game, so I get to be home again.
Nice of them to give you some time off to digest your fantasy bouts.
Yeah,
from
that's the last thing I need. I need to keep working.
Yeah.
I've been eliminated in the Cavis Reed Fantasy Football League of Adult Things. And you know why? Because of Matthew Iwanik's boy, Trey Ford.
Well,
unbelievable. Yeah. You're killing me.
And in a non-related issue, he does have the week off. Hey, I mean, how convenient is that? Eh?
Matthew Iwanik taking the week off as the president, as he declares, of the Trey Ford fan club.
Tough luck.
This week, this is the week you take off, you sly dog. Now, with that being said, he'll be back Friday for the show.
The rematch.
And we will have a watch party Friday night. Rematch, Elks, Bombers, Century Casino. Oh, Friday night at the casino. Not too shabby. It should be pretty fun. So we will get into to that as well. Scott Kaufman says, how often does Nielsen wear that hoodie? You don't think I'm going to wear orange, white, and blue after an Oilers preseason win? You're nuts, man.
Oh, and as Wheel said, we have a Tales of the North today as well, preseason edition.
No.
Split squad.
We are not rolling out Tales of the North for the preseason.
Two.
I'm sorry. The two of them. And in the other match, no bloody chance in hell.
One north of the wall, one south of the wall.
That's not happening. That's not happening. If you're watching over on YouTube today and you think the Edmonton Oilers are going to win the Stanley Cup because of that preseason win, hammer the thumbs up and give us a sub here on the channel as well. Rip City Seb says, Dusty's going to be on every ST show for 2 weeks. No, not every show.
Oh, wow.
But all the shows that I'm regularly on, and maybe some guest appearances on others. But I'll be on the Nielsen Show today. I'll be on the Lock Shop today, and I'll be on the Oil Stream today. And Fridays. I'm excited to do a couple of beers of the week with you boys.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Yeah,
God, it's
good to have you back.
It's real nice.
And Coach Herm Edwards as well. You'll be getting the first swing at him.
Do you think I could let Coach Herm Edwards join you guys on Friday?
It was quite controversial there on Friday as well.
Bring me up to speed on this. What What happened?
Well, I mean, we were all ready to go. We were very excited. We were pumping it up, and then YouTube Trev got a text, and he forwarded that text to me, and then yada yada yada. He ain't joining us, and again that
Wait,
goes.
Herm Edwards texted YouTube Trev.
Email.
Oh, email. Whatever. I mean, that's
but
still
in
pretty
the email
cool.
as well, which I read that you sent to us, it was blah blah blah. Please pass along though my my utter despair that I
was
can't
very
join
sad I
him
wasn't gonna be
for
there.
the initial run. So I'm sure that had something to do with it. But
You play to win the game. Hello,
Marshall Ferguson was by the way. He had another motorbike. He gave us another rev. It was
man,
good.
is he so
It's a
much
beautiful thing?
He's
yeah,
so much
yeah.
cooler than I am.
A little bit of football, a little bit of racing. So it was a good Friday.
Well, that's real nice. Real nice. I was back on the ice yesterday, molding the future hockey stars of our generation, of the next generation, I guess. I was coaching U11 and U9 hockey yesterday, and it was good to be back on the ice. I realized I hadn't sharpened my skates in about 6 months. I could barely turn. It was awful. But all in all, a nice weekend.
Whistle in the mouth the whole time, hey? Just kind of chewing on that puppy.
No, I don't have a whistle. I always just yell, whistle!
Yeah.
And then they all come over. I can't do that either.
That looks disgusting.
I don't know how people do that. It's crazy to me. Trev, can you finger whistle?
Practiced many times.
You have.
and I still can't do it.
Yeah, it's those people. I don't know how you do it. It's
Yeah.
You
It's
can
an
finger
art.
whistle, Rick, or no?
No, I used to be able. I could do that. There's something
Yeah,
there.
sometimes a little bit. Yeah. No, I don't know how guys and girls. I don't know how they do it. It's pretty impressive. What can I say? You can text us anytime into the Paris Jewelers inbox. One of you will win text of the day today. 780-218-9999. Text of the day today will get you a gift certificate to A&W. So I had one of these, I think it was Thursday maybe. When did we have them? We had them Tuesday.
Yep.
And then I had it again on Thursday. I
The
think.
teen? Yeah.
Yeah, the teen. I had the teen. I went and got a teen, no veggies. Teen Ruffle Crunch, no
Just
veggies.
hamburger and
And
chips.
I have to tell you, just the patty, cheese, some sauce, and some chips on a bun. Unbelievable. God, this burger's so good. If you've not yet tried it, it is the Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. It's a teen burger with one-of-a-kind ridges and crunch. Try it in all its teen burger glory, or crunch into its equally tasty sidekick, the Ruffles Crunch Buddy Burger, for just $4.99. Try one today at your neighborhood A&W. You know what else I tried? On Thursday night, took Tam and the kids and my wife, my parents. We went to that new Firehouse location down by Wayne Sports Cards at Tanier Center Shop.
Yeah.
Furby gave us a little invite to a little sneak peek.
Did they get the hats?
They did get the fire hats. Kids combos come with a fire truck hat. It's very cool. But my goodness, Firehouse subs, are you kidding me? Like so soft,
Yeah, man.
slightly heated up, not like over toasted.
Yeah.
Just absolutely delicious. So good that we had it for lunch yesterday again. I had the Italian one yesterday. The first one I had was like a beef or steak one. My dad had the meatball one on Thursday night. It looked absolutely delicious as well. So if you've not yet tried Firehouse, and they're not on board as like a sponsor, just had a chance to go check it out. Delicious. You're gonna absolutely love it.
Adding to that Westgate strip mall there, glory,
Oh, yeah.
the BPs, the Italian Center, Wayne's, the whole bit.
You hit for the cycle. And on top of it, I get my hair cut there.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Not at Firehouse.
No.
I get my hair cut at Mr. Barber on the corner there because
They
the
know
one
how to
guy
do
likes
it.
to talk about the NBA.
Yeah.
But Italian Center Shop, Boston Pizza, Wayne Sports Cards, three EST heavy hitters.
Have a day.
And then Firehouse is just very good, very good. You will like it. I promise you that. If you're watching over on YouTube, hammer a thumbs up today. Let's lay out the show for you this morning. The Nielson Show, of course, today and every day. Brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. And make plans to join us October 4th, Friday, October 4th. We will be LOL, live on location. It's not as funny as it sounds.
Oh, I'll be laughing.
It's a serious day of business. We'll be out there, South Fort Chevrolet, the Oktoberfest setup, and drive a little, save a lot. with our crew out at South Fort Chevrolet. Go see Daniel and his family-friendly team. Tell them we sent you. You'll get an additional $1,000 credit on your trade-in vehicle. And this part, they 100% mean. I only get my cars in the city. You find a good price on your trade-in here. You got to find a good price on a new vehicle. You take it out there, they'll beat it. Guaranteed. That's what they're going to do for you. www.southfortchev.com. On our Oktoberfest celebration out there, we'll have the entire station on location from 6 until 6 on October 4th. And we'll have some special deals for you that day. There'll be some food, some drinks. You like free stuff. Come on out, giveaways, all that fun stuff at South Fort Chevrolet on Friday, October 4th. Here's what we got for a busy show today. I could do, and I think it was Strummy who was in the chat before we even launched today. It was like, enough with the football talk already. I could do an entire day on just football today.
This whole show could be dominated by football, both near and far.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we could do an hour on the Elks game easily. We could do an hour on the National Football League. We could do an hour on the rest of the CFL. I love days like that.
Golden Bears with a big win.
A huge win. Had to
Huskies
have it.
coming up just short from the JP Bowl. Daniel Youssef. What a player. Got to get down there yesterday. It was great. Great time.
Was that you that was over there?
Absolutely.
On the tweets?
Absolutely.
I thought it was Glue Guy.
Took the wife down there, and no, he hates
What?
the Huskies.
You guys went
He's a
watching-
Wildcats guy. That's the thing, the dynamic.
yeah,
the
yeah.
AM nasty with you and me, and then the PM with him and Reed in the afternoon, but it's Huskies v Wildcats.
Oh.
That's kind of the...
My goodness.
But hell of a day. Didn't get the W, but we move on. But yeah, I mean, lots of... I'll get to a little bit of Golden Bears football in the good, bad, and ugly, but I mean, you're right. There's... And the college scene as well.
So much going on.
This is football now.
No hockey today.
No.
Just kidding. We're going to get to the preseason win. Overtime thriller. Yesa Puljujarvi with a hat trick for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
well.
And I have to say, one was a deflection. One was a nice shot from the slot. And the other one, he busted around Owen Power and then backhanded it far side.
Yeah. The lone offensive spark for the Penguins in their 7-3 loss.
They
to the
lost
Sabres.
7-3. Yesa Puljujarvi had a hat trick. Yeah. Maybe it makes that team. Because, Pittsburgh's so good.
We do have a song for that, dude.
That's a tough nut. People would lose their mind if I played the Yesa Puljujarvi goal song the morning after the Oilers won a preseason game. Like, come on.
And the day of a split squad.
The Oilers are playing twice tonight, and you're playing Yesa Puljujarvi hat trick song from Pittsburgh? Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. All right, your morning announcements coming up. We'll get into a little. I've got the NFL Sunday 5 things. I've got the biggest story of the day, the biggest surprise of the day, the biggest disappointment of the day. It's nice, but nobody cares. And then the star of the day. We'll get into that in the National Football League just after 6:30. Good, bad, and ugly from the weekend coming up. 5 things from the Oilers win.
Only 5.
I had to limit it. I know there could have been 20 things from that preseason victory, but I've limited it to 5.
Rocky start in that one, too. I mean, saying.
Story of the Oilers' life. First shot, first goal against. And then the Oilers, on their first shot, I believe, scored as well.
Hey.
Classic preseason mix-ups.
We're right in
That's just too funny. We'll get to that coming up just after 7 o'clock today. Monday Night Football parlay. We'll build something for Cool Bet. Also, Lock Shop Poker Series. We'll dive into this a little bit more around 7:25. But I have it set up. I will be streaming while we play in this tournament tomorrow night. I did it. I built it last night. Looks pretty good.
Big bounty.
You won't be able to see my cards because I don't want everybody else just checking out the YouTube if they're at my table being like, look at Nielsen, he's an idiot. So
Tapping.
Doing that. So I've set it up so that you can't see my cards, but I'm going to be streaming during the tournament, which starts at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. If you like to play in the poker tournament with us, it works out. It's about $30 to get in. And last time we had 70 players. Awanik finished 5th. He's referring to himself as the champion of EST. Finished 5th in the tournament. Unbelievable. He's playing again, though. We have a $100 bounty on my head, $100 bounty on Huss's head. There's a bounty on Awanik's head. There's a bounty on Remus's head, who's Hustler's co-host on Winnipeg Sports Talk. A bunch of our guys are going to be in it again. It should be a lot of fun. So just go to coolbet.com, download the poker software, and then go into tournaments, search Lock Shop, and you can register. I registered last night. I think we have about 13, 14 signed up right now. We were kind of similar last time, and then on Tuesday, boom, 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 everybody signed up. It was a great tournament. But I'm looking forward to becoming poker streaming guy. I would say there's about a 35% chance that after I stream while playing poker tomorrow night, I completely leave EST and the CFL and TSN and just become a 100% poker stream guy.
Dustin Martin.
Oh, like Kevin Martin, but Dustin Martin. Wouldn't that be funny? I'm Dustin Martin.
Yeah.
That probably, yeah. That was that was a good one.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get to that around 7:20 today. 7:30 today, we will have Mike Tenier. He's going to pop by. Quick rip around the National Football League with Tanier. He's hilarious. That hurts for James H. Brown. I'm not going to call my shot for an Esty next year for rant of the year, but I'm going off on short yardage plays today.
You tweeted that last night. You warned people.
Enough of it. How can people like why are coaching staffs so dumb when it comes to short yardage? Like it was in both leagues, and it was multiple times.
Also in the Huskies game against the Thunder as well.
Don't even tell me. Don't even tell me.
You're tripling it up here, buddy. I guess that was the weekend of short yardages.
How hard can it be?
Near, far.
Here's an idea. Don't line up in shotgun when you're a yard away from picking up the first down. Why in the world would anybody in life, in any aspect of it, say, hey, we're a yard away. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to hand the ball off to our running back 5 yards away. That's a great plan. Anyway, we'll get to that.
Well, you got a head of steam, eh? Yeah.
No, enough. It's pathetic. And Dave Dickinson, what are you doing? Ugh. 3rd and 1, basically your season on the line. You've got arguably the best short yardage QB we've seen in a bloody decade.
He ripped off the 69-yarder to start.
He had a 69-yard touchdown on a 3rd and 1. And you're not going to give him the ball in that situation? Are you kidding me?
Fine with me.
Anyway, I'm going to get really fired up at 7:45. It's
overthinking
like
it.
The Falcons. Anyway, we'll save it. We'll go. That hurts for James H. Brown.
How about the Chiefs? Say another dominating win.
I haven't
us today will be.
Oh, it'll be. All Atlanta had to do was kick a field goal, then kick another field goal and win the bloody game.
Yeah, and the Bombers too. It's just we'll get on cloud 9, eh?
We'll get to all of it. In the football worworld, things just work out for Hawks.
Somebody
Bombers have won 6 in a row. Chiefs have won 3 in a row.
Somebody tweeted the picture of old what's his name, Paul Blart there, or whatever. That's him.
That's us today.
Yeah.
Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many. That's good. We'll go there around 8:25. Danny Austin, Post Media, Calgary. A split squad game. So we'll talk some Flames. We'll talk some Stampeders with Danny. He's going to join us just after 8:30 today. And then the wrap for William Huff, for Bruce and the Dream Team. The A-team over at William Huff. We'll go there as well. Nas26 says, blaming the coach because the players failed to get the job. Yeah,
well,
you're right. You're right. It does make sense for a coach. But no, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're blaming, I am going to blame Dave Dickinson. You got the best short yardage quarterback in the bloody league, and you didn't bring him in on a 3rd and 1. The guy's automatic. So Dave Dickinson's fault. Falcons play calling. The play calling sucks. Look at the Ticats. They had 5 chances from the 1. Didn't score over the weekend. 3 of them were in a shotgun snap. 1 of them was a pitch to the outside. Makes no sense. Push it ahead. And the National Football League, you can't use one of these bum quarterbacks that probably shouldn't even be in the bloody league, put a backup in and learn how to do short yardage. Like, seriously, it's pathetic. Short yardage situations have been pathetic all weekend. I can't take it. It's making my blood boil.
Maybe Dickie knew you had starting Mayer in your fantasy. He's trying to get you.
I mean, if anything, I should be happy about the situation. Gave Jake Mayer a chance to throw another interception. Let's get to your morning announcements. I haven't even got to the rant yet.
It's a big rant. It's a 3-hour rant today.
Morning announcements for 100.3 The Bear. Edmonton's Best Rock. Yukon and McCord every single morning, and the wonderful Jess Jackson, who was by here yesterday. She dropped off the award that we won for excellence for the Apollo Creed Memorial Tournament.
Yeah.
We'd left that behind when they let us go.
It's a beautiful piece of
But it's back,
hardware.
baby. It's back. Thank you, The Bear. All right, so let's get into your morning announcements. The Oilers, like I said, just after 7 o'clock, we'll dive a little bit deeper into this game. But, I think you have to be happy with a couple of things. Bud Colson. Now, in a game like that, you do want to see those guys that probably aren't going to have much opportunity when the lineup is full to come out and impress a little bit. I thought Pod Colson checked off a bunch of boxes.
Yep.
So you should be happy with that. We'll get into Philp a little bit. We'll get into Deneen a little bit. I know Raphael Lavoie had some people probably all fired up last night.
Oh, O'Reilly too. Eh?
Yeah, well, O'Reilly, yeah. I mean, there you go. There's the 5 guys, actually. We'll come back around to it just after 7 o'clock, a little bit more in depth. But, yeah, 5 things from the Oilers preseason win. Split squad coming up tonight as well. McDavid and Draisaitl at Commonwealth on Saturday for the Elks
You love to
Bombers
see it.
game.
You love to see it.
Yeah, I thought they were going to because they came down on the field. I was like, are they doing the coin toss or something? That'd be kind of cool. But they just wanted to be down on the field to check out how big the guys are.
Speed. Yeah,
they just wanted to see how fast they are.
Yeah.
So this just in, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl fully respect the athletes in the Canadian Football League. So you can too. It's
Wow.
okay now. You're allowed.
Wow, yeah,
you're allowed.
yeah.
You're allowed
They think
to
it's
now.
cool.
You're allowed to think the Elks are cool now because McDavid and Draisaitl. I can't believe those guys are there promoting a woke franchise. Unbelievable.
You are.
If I didn't already have them, I'd be taking it today.
Get
I'd be
another
taking
pot
it
holder.
today.
We got another pot holder in the kitchen.
Yeah,
there.
yeah, give me a third one. 6:23. We're still going.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's keep it rolling. 780-218-9999. A spicy boy today.
I'm crying here.
Spicy boy today. We got to get to the Elks and Bombers here.
Yes.
It was really weird because their quarterback was not playing well. They turned the ball over 6 times total.
Turnovers. Yeah.
They'd only had 17 turnovers the entire season. Turned the ball over 6 times, twice on downs, 2 picks, and 2 fumbles. And it was still 10-10
Yeah.
going into the fourth quarter. Like the Elks defense kept them in that football game. And in the end, the offense just couldn't keep up. We got to the fourth quarter. And for Canadian Football League fans across the country who've gotten a good taste of the Bombers for the last 5 years, Bombers did what they do in the fourth quarter.
Look at their turnover.
That's what happened.
I mean, that's where it was won there too. And for the Elks, who have been taking the ball away, albeit against stamps back to back or whatever you want, and call it inflated stats, but. I mean, you had one team taking care of the football, one team not taking care of the football. But again, as you mentioned, surprising that it was kind of tight as it was. And that, to me, is the story of this season as well, where teams can, I mean, again, you look at the score, 27-14, maybe you didn't watch the game, you say, it doubled up there on the scoreboard and turnovers and all that. But again, a tight game going down the stretch. Just couldn't hold on. And when you're producing 6 turnovers, it's pretty tough to do for any team, but especially against the Bombers.
Trey Ford was not good. I know we've had a lot of support for Trey Ford around here.
Yeah.
Trey Ford was not good in that football game. I'm not sure he gives them the best chance to win in Winnipeg. I think there are certain defenses in the Canadian Football League that could be approached differently from a quarterback perspective. I think MBT might give you the best chance to win on the road in Winnipeg. Not saying that technically he needs to be the guy, but did Reed Wilkins post a poll on this? Can you bring
He did.
this up?
I've retweeted the results as the
Okay.
poll has been closed. If you're still looking to vote, he tweeted out the too soon to ask poll. Who would you start Friday in Winnipeg? The options were Ford and MBT. Ford garnering 57.7% of the popular vote. MBT 42.3%.
Oh, you know what we got on our hands here now, folks.
Don't say it.
Can I
It's a
say
C
it?
word.
Look, I'm a spicy boy today. I'm just going to say it anyway. We got a quarterback controversy here in Edmonton.
Well, Gord of Thunder replied to the tweet saying, "Bring back Taylor Cornelius." You really want to add a little. His words, not mine.
You know what? Somebody in the NFL should get Cornelius, make him their short yardage quarterback, and actually pick up first down.
Why not?
Why not?
Get the other pot
Is that the
holder.
worst thing in the
We're
world?
running out of kitchen tire for you. No, but maybe you're right. I mean, certain quarterbacks in certain systems. I mean,
Well, the thing that and I know Trey Ford doesn't necessarily want to be viewed as a running quarterback, but let's be honest. When he's in, he's most effective when he is sometimes getting out of the pocket and running the ball.
which is what Zach Caleros was doing a lot of, getting out of the
Zach
pocket. Which is,
outgained Trey Ford in rushing in a game, which the odds on that would have been like plus 4,000. Like nobody would have ever thought that happened.
3 for 30. He's averaging 10 yards a carry, Caleros, and Ford 2 for 9.
He had a 21-yard scramble right up the middle on like the biggest drive of the game to basically keep it alive. So there's a couple of things here. One, when he was scrambling around one time, he did get stripped for a fumble. Great play by Dietrich Nichols, but still. And then you worry about him getting hurt if he's running all the time. But they didn't like design a single quarterback run for him. Maybe one. Maybe there was one draw. But like there was, I didn't think you took advantage of Trey Ford's best weapons in that game. And the one play, his second interception, first of all, bad read. I think he was thinking trick play. Nobody's going to pick up on it. And it was intercepted. And that was basically the end of the football game. But what are they doing? Drawing up a pass to an offensive lineman. Like I get the fat guy touchdown.
Yeah. And it works.
Like, it works at the end zone.
Yeah.
But they had an offensive lineman running a crossing route on their own 30. Like even if he completes the pass, what's he going to do? Go down immediately? It makes no sense to me. Like that made no sense. I don't know if I've ever seen a trick play on your own 25 or 30 or wherever it was when you basically are lining up an offensive lineman as a tight end and sending him on a crossing route. I mean, that just, when was the last time a team did that? It never happens. In a critical moment in the football game, that's what you're rolling out there. Now, Trey has to realize that, it's definitely covered. But what a weird play call. That made no sense to me.
The Georgia Satellite in the nasty chat. Trey Ford buries the Norfolk Pirates, and the GM of the Pirates buries Trey Ford. Time is a flat
Trey
circle.
Ford did cost me fantasy this week.
The numbers are outrageous. I can't believe
Yeah, I mean,
that's a bad beat.
That was a tough one.
But look,
now Brady Oliveira on the other side and the Bombers defense. I mean, that's what I
Ford
lost
Bowl
to.
coming up short. Terrell Ford 3 defensive tackles, and that's pretty much it for his stat line. So I mean, I know you guys.
Well, he got beat on the Geno Lewis TD. He got caught.
And your friend Suits had all the video game stuff and all that for him. I mean, that was kind of we were looking forward to it. The Ford Bowl. Tony Jones having a day too for the Bombers as well.
A former member
taking that
of
big
the Edmonton
biggie
Elks
spot too. Like
he had a great game.
Plugging and playing. But and Caleros too. You look at his numbers, not jumping out the page, but you mentioned that run. And in certain times when he needs to do what he needs to do, he does it.
Zach finds a way. He just has.
And they find a way. They know how to find a way. I think he was mentioned on the broadcast. This is a team that knows how to do it. The Elks are still trying to find out how to do it.
Caleros hasn't thrown for 3 touchdowns in a game all year. They've won 6 in a row.
Yeah. And then Oliveira just shows up with 2.
Yeah, his first 2. When I'm playing him in fantasy playoffs, that's what he scores. I wanted to lose it on the call.
You were going to walk out of the booth.
I wanted to see it. Brady Oliveira goes, here's Oliveira in for the... Oh, now he decides to do it.
Well,
now he takes me down.
Riots in Norfolk.
I just... What were you doing calling the play to the offensive lineman in your own end?
No,
in a 7-point ball game.
If the players execute...
Oh, yeah, player. We should totally expect an offensive lineman to make a better play. It just doesn't make any sense to me. All football this weekend just drove me insane.
Justin Abelgoni wants a full segment on the Kerfloat. Maybe a little championship preview, he asks.
I've already said enough. Now, with that being said, once 2 lineups are set for our championship final, I'll dive into them.
Sure.
So let's get those in, boys, and it'll be a good time. All right, I gotta take a breath. We're gonna get to the National Football League yesterday. Good, bad, and ugly from the weekend still to come. 5 takeaways from the Oilers' big preseason win. We'll get into that as well. Let's get to an update though for Nisku Glass. Made a Nisku Glass joke over the weekend. Oh, yeah, my dad. I always throw footballs to Marshall in the living room. And my dad, being a father, was like, he's going to miss one of these and it's going to smash right through the window. Boy. And I said, calm down. Nisku Glass will fix it. And he was just like, oh. I was like, well, honestly, I'm not, I don't have an arm like a guy who has a hard arm.
Did he do up like a code of conduct for your house maybe as well?
Probably.
During his visit?
Same thing.
Actually,
when I
throwing balls
left,
in the house, that's
there's no more football in the house. What are you talking about? We play football in 3 different areas of the house.
That's done.
This is ridiculous.
Not anymore.
Anyway, if you're throwing balls to your kids and you smash a window in your home, Nisku Glass has you covered. Let's get to a sports update with LTE. The Big 5 from the National Football League yesterday. We'll get into that coming up next.
The Edmonton Oilers opening the preseason schedule last night. 3-2 overtime winner over the Jets. Cam Dedin with the winner. Sam O'Reilly and Raphael Lavoie also got on the score sheet. Preseason will continue tonight, both here and in Calgary, with split squad action against the Flames. Chiefs improving to 3-0 with a 22-17 victory down in Atlanta last night. You can join me tonight at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for a Monday night doubleheader when the Bills host the Jags at 5:30. Well, a battle of former LSU quarterbacks sees the Bengals host the Commanders. Loaded burgers on special throughout the evening. Back over to hockey. Oil Kings open the regular season over the weekend with a pair of losses on the road to Lethbridge and Medicine Hat. The club are back in action Saturday at 2 for their home opener against the Hitmen. AJHL action saw Calgary defeat Lloyd 3-2 yesterday. Action resumes Wednesday with 4 games. Blue Jays wrapping up their road schedule in Tampa over the weekend, getting swept by the Rays. Jays are back home to host Boston for 3 beginning tonight, while rounding out the regular season with a 3-game set against the Marlins. Shohei Ohtani, meanwhile, he cannot be stopped. He hit his 53rd homer of the season yesterday, while also reaching 55 stolen bases in the Dodgers' 6-5 win over the Rockies. Back over to football, where the Elks will look for revenge Friday from Winnipeg to kick off Week 17 in the CFL. Edmonton dropping to 5-9 in Saturday's 27-14 loss to the Bombers. You can join the EST crew for this one at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Kickoff at 6. The Green and Gold Kickoff Show with Maddie and Milne gets going at 5. Edmonton Huskies falling to the Regina Thunder 32-11 out at the JP Bowl, while the Wildcats, they drop one to the Hilltops on the road 45-19. Huskies will host the Wildcats this Saturday from the JP Bowl. Kickoff at 7. Golden Bears football improving to 2-2 Friday with a 36 victory over the Rams. Bears are in Saskatoon Friday night to take on the Huskies. Golden Bears hockey, meanwhile, the split against the Dinos over the weekend to wrap up that preseason. Puck drop in the regular season goes Friday, October 4th against Grant Mack from the Drake. Nisku Glass is growing and now hiring. If you're a nasty that wants to work with other nasties and can cut glass and replace windshields, then we want to hear from you. Email your resume to info@niskuglass.ca or stop by the shop to apply today.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in on TuneIn, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Tuffy and Eric and all of the bad cats. Like Wyshynski and Noodles, Gadget and Gage. Maybe it's fun but a cool band to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday mandate. Sharky's always on time, Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hot takes and we wanna hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away? Beat left the tie of fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about Amanda Canes? Marimella, Rapaport, Dragger and Tanier. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about them give a present, Dusty go on. What say you? AM Nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
6:35 on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here with us today. 9 degrees in Edmonton right now. We are looking for a high of about 18, 19 for today. I don't know what's going on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah.
26 and 28 degrees on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Now, somebody reminded us in the Nasty Chat, it is autumn. Yes, the equinox was yesterday. We are in the autumnal.
Wow. Cool.
So get out your... don't put those bikinis away just yet, eh?
Oh, I got to wear my bikini on Wednesday.
Sure, yeah. Well, pool.
Wow, 28 degrees on Wednesday. Josh Clausen, what is this? Is this some sort of equinox front?
Hoodoo.
What's happening here? Please fill us in. It'd be much appreciated. Unless he's in the laboratory, unless he's in the beat lab
creating
with
a beat.
Zacticum,
Yeah.
which could be the case. Good, bad, and ugly from the weekend coming up. The Nielsen Show is presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. Go see Daniel and his family-friendly team at South Fort Chev. Tell them we sent you. Boom, $1,000 credit on your trade-in vehicle. An additional $1,000 credit on your trade-in vehicle. www.southfortchev.com. Coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today. Had a Popeye's classic chicken sandwich over the weekend, and after the Elks game, actually on
Just the
Saturday
classic.
night.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
It just hits.
Yeah.
Just hits.
Don't mess up a good thing.
Got to be happy with that. We'll get to our good, bad, and ugly from the weekend. That is on the way. 5 takeaways from the Oilers game last night as well. That's coming up just after 7 o'clock today. If you're watching over on YouTube this morning, hammer the thumbs up for us. I'm only closing in on 100 likes, so let's change 100 here in the 6 o'clock hour. We'll get into that as well. More text messages on the Elks loss to the Bombers. They'll have to bounce back with a big one, and if not, at that point, they're going to have to win out and hope for a little bit of help along the way if they can't beat Winnipeg this week.
Well, and also that Hamilton victory. If you're kind of looking beyond and kind of connecting dots, that was also a huge one.
If Hamilton makes the playoffs, Bo Levi's going to win the MOP.
He has to.
Yeah.
He's leading in the
100%.
category.
He leads in all the passing categories. If they make the playoffs, he's going to win
It was
MOP.
just yesterday that his kids had that lemonade stand where he was trying to make money off of because he got benched.
Yeah. And now here he is.
What a story.
Another classic CFL tale.
Yeah, Elks visiting the Bombers. They then host the Riders Saturday, October 4th. We'll visit the Stamps again and host the Argos to wrap up the regular season. So those are your...
They host on the 4th or the 5th?
5th.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's my next game.
Saturday, 5th. 5
I cannot
o'clock,
wait for that game.
That's a big one.
Oh, that's a huge one. Who do the Riders play this week?
Riders are at home to Ottawa Saturday afternoon.
Well, Rock Armstead.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
the very club that released him.
Yeah,
We'll get
yeah.
to Armstead as we work our way through the show today. Don't think we forgot about that. We'll definitely get to that. But let's dive into the National Football League yesterday. Okay, so let's try something new here. I got that. And we can add categories to this. So if you have any fun categories that you want to add into like our Monday NFL recaps, text them in, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Hit us up in the Nasty Chat. Today I've got the biggest story of the day, the biggest surprise of the day, the biggest disappointment of the day, the It's Nice But Nobody Cares award, and then the star of the day as well, both from a fantasy and overall perspective. So the biggest story of the day for me, and this is kind of my thoughts. You want to chime in, you want to argue, disagree, whatever. The Ravens beating the Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
or the Cowboys losing to the Ravens.
well,
Which way do you want to go, eh?
Either way, but for the Ravens to avoid an 0-2 start.
Yes. Yeah.
If the Ravens go to 0-3, it gets a little ugly there, I think. So they had to have it. They get it. They were up pretty good. The Cowboys sort of decent fantasy day for Dak as they kind of
Can't stop
push
run.
back a little bit.
Can't stop a nosebleed.
Oh, man.
And Lamar, like dominance against the NFC. His career now, he's stretching to 20-something and 1 or something. I think I saw the metric. Like he cannot lose the NFC, but the boys, I mean, can't stop the run.
How many did they give up yesterday?
And this
It
is
was
coming
well
off
over
a week
200.
where they gave up a lot of
They gave
yardage
up like
as well.
190 last week.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys cannot stop the run. But for the Ravens to go on the road,
274.
274
Yeah,
yards.
and put up 51 of their own.
Who do they think they are? Rock Armstead?
No?
Unbelievable. So that to me was the biggest story today. The Ravens avoiding going 0-3, going on the road and beating the Dallas Cowboys. The biggest surprise of the day.
There's always two big losses for the Cowboys at home, too.
Yeah,
See, like
it
that's
is. You're right.
America's team.
What did Dak say as he's walking off yesterday? He's like, jump off if you want or something along those lines.
It looks like CeeDee Lamb might have already.
Yeah. That's CeeDee Lamb.
It's,
Let's feed that guy. I got him like 8 fantasy leagues. He's the guy I'm fully invested in fantasy, CeeDee Lamb. I need that guy to have huge games. Biggest surprise of the day for me. And you can text in your biggest surprises. And Rick, if you got
I
a
like
biggest
this game.
surprise, you can.
I like this game.
It's a nice
thinking
it's
of what
mixing
you're
it
going
up.
to pick and then
hitting
hitting the ball back over the net to.
So here's what I'm going to go with, because I basically had 0 expectations for this guy.
I think I know. Yeah, well.
I'm going with Malik Willis as my surprise of the day.
Okay.
202 yards through the air. Not crazy day, but I mean, better than most quarterbacks recently. 202 yards through the air with a touchdown, 73 yards on the ground with a touchdown, and has kept the Packers, moving along and chugging along here with Jordan Love out. So I was not expecting.
Not just squeezing through either. I mean, that's
Well, the week before, and they win. I mean, they put up 30 points and win with Malik Willis at quarterback. Yeah. The week before was the Josh Jacobs show, right? Like Willis. Now, I don't think he didn't throw like 30 times in this game. How many times did he throw it in this game? Last week, he only threw it 14 times. This time, he threw it 19 times, but he completed 13 of them. It wasn't a crazy percentage, but 202 yards, looked after the football, and they come away with a win. So, I mean, overall, I think you have to be, and I lost to this dude in one of my fantasy leagues. He had like 25 fantasy points. So Malik Willis is my surprise of the day yesterday in the National Football League.
To me, it's got to be the Broncos winning in Tampa. I really liked what the Bucs were doing.
Yeah.
I think we were all kind of riding high with Baker and what he's been doing, but 26-7. I didn't see that coming.
The Broncos plus 6.5 was one of my best bets on the lock shop on Friday. I sent him in. I wasn't in. But it's weird. The two favorites I took, I missed on. The two underdogs I took, the Giants and the Broncos. I was on the Giants and Broncos plus 6.5, and they both won outright.
Man, what a game that was too, eh?
All right, so what was your biggest surprise of the day? You can text it in 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. My biggest disappointment of yesterday in the National Football League, and I've already seen this pop up, but the Houston Texans have to be the biggest disappointment. I don't want to take anything away from what is happening right now with the Minnesota Vikings. They look absolutely
terrific. It's a great story, yeah.
They look terrific. Like there's a world where Sam Darnold is the leading MVP candidate right now. And that's not even, I'm not even mocking that. Like that's a fact. That's
Bo
reality.
Levi Mitchell of the NFL.
Who does Sam Darnold think he is? Bo Levi Mitchell over the last 3 weeks? But the Houston Texans to put up 7 points. 7 points. CJ Stroud, 20 of 31. 2 interceptions. This is a game that ends with Davis Mills in a quarterback. You know it goes wrong. Now, Joe Mixon didn't play.
Yep.
Pierce wasn't available. They had Cam Bloody Akers at running back. But still, to get pumped, I wasn't necessarily expecting them to like 100% beat the Vikings.
Yeah.
But I was not expecting them to get spanked by the Vikings.
Tough to win when Stephon Diggs is your primary weapon.
How many, what did he have? 10 catches
90
yesterday.
yards, yeah, whatever.
12 targets.
I say that from a Bills perspective and point of view.
Yeah, classic Bills hater.
Here we go.
Classic Bills hater. Well,
hype.
Nico Collins is supposed to be the guy there, right?
Yeah,
That
well,
was,
whatever.
he was targeted 10 times, only had 4 catches. Any other bigger disappointments yesterday than the Texans?
Well, the Saints putting up 12, given that we've been talking, and I know it's early days, but the 2 games with that offense, I mean, they put up, 10 million points and 100 billion yards. Clint Kubiak, this and that. And the Eagles, I mean, credit to them going on the road, too, after being embarrassed in prime time to the Falcons, 15-12, a bit of a snoozer of a score there. But yeah, Saints, I would maybe not expecting a win, that's fine, but the offensive drop-off in terms of what they've been doing over the first 2 weeks, 12 points.
I would say the total in that game surprised me. Like just the overall points scored in that game, very surprising. Jason in Leduc says, guys, biggest surprise for me, the Browns and Giants hitting the under of 38.5 with a 21-7 score at halftime. Yeah, that was almost the same in that Detroit-Arizona game where they didn't hit the over after the first half, and there was like 3 points. That was pretty wild. Guys, my surprise was Raiders coach Antonio Pierce saying this about his team. I think there were definitely some individuals that made business decisions.
Well, look, don't sleep on the old Red Rocket here. 3 touchdowns? Come on, Andy Dalton.
Wait, not done yet. Not done yet. Comes up with the next category. It's the It's Nice But Nobody Cares award, which goes to Andy Dalton, 319 yards and 3 touchdowns. Do we care?
You love to see it. I care. And Chuba Hubbard, 114, 21 carries here.
If you look here, it says right behind it, I said, we do care that Chuba Hubbard had 114 yards, 5 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown. Especially if you were starting him in the very fantasy league that the nefarious 9 screwed you out of a first-round pick. I'm now 2-1 in that league.
And the Raiders are always a good, pinata to get off the schneid, would you not say? I mean, I know they present a few surprises of themselves, but if somebody's going to gift the Carolina Panthers a win, it's probably the Raiders.
Yeah.
Like
Andy Dalton, though. Like,
I love it.
So
hell of a story.
Like this certainly,
36 points.
Carolina Sports Radio, which is which is probably on the FM dial because it's in the United States.
Yeah.
And they know what they're doing down there. It's probably fired up today.
I bet you.
You've got Bryce.
Fired up by Dalton, I get it.
Well, I did not even mean to do that, but it works.
Unintended.
When Bryce Young was benched, people were like, don't worry, Bryce. It's not your fault. And then Andy Dalton comes in, throws for 3 touchdowns over 300 yards and leads you to a win. Maybe it partially was the fact that Bryce Young is like the size of Will Frazier.
Bryce should almost hurt himself so then he can argue, I can't lose my spot due to injury.
I'm back.
I would do that right now.
You're not going to get Wally pipped over here. No chance.
Red Rocket. Unreal.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah.
We still don't care about the Panthers. It's not like nobody all of a sudden is going, wow, the Panthers with Andy Dalton are a playoff contender.
Oh, not division, you never know.
So it was nice, but nobody cares. Yeah. And then I've got the star of the day. Could make a case here for Dallas Goedert. set a franchise record for receiving yards for a tight end at over 170. But I got to go with Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings. 175 yards, 3 touchdowns on 11 catches. And this was hilarious because all week long I'm listening to fantasy football podcasts and people are like, should I start Juwan Jennings? And all the experts are like, nope, Brandon Ayuk's going to have all the targets. Don't have to worry about it. And sure enough, Juwan Jennings goes off for 175 yards, 3 touchdowns on the 11 catches, a monstrous fantasy day, but it still wasn't enough.
No.
So can I make him the star of the day when he was on the lose? I think I have to still. 175 yards and 3 touchdowns, that's going to do it. It's not
Pretty
his
as well
fault.
have some good numbers.
It's not his fault that Stafford's absolute god.
Yeah. Well,
Matthew Stafford finds a way. It's as simple as that.
same colors as the Bombers, hey? Who would have thunk that? Like, it's the same type of...
What are the
Like, it's the
odds?
same...
What are the
Same
odds?
story.
That's the one bet that I was very frustrated with when I was doing my best bets last week on the lock shop for Cool Bet. I had the Rams down and then I took them off and I put Houston on. The Rams always play the Niners tough. I was just like, without Puka Nacua and without Cooper Kupp,
Yeah.
I mean, how are you going to do it? But they found a way once again, which is very impressive. The Georgia Satellite's in. It says, Jennings scored a lot of points on my bench. Jason says, I started him. Greatest pickup by far. Jason, I'm going to need to see the receipts.
I love the back-to-back
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Well, then Pittsburgh and Seattle also proven to 3-0. I mean,
Well,
I don't know.
This always happens.
What you make of that?
Every year in the National Football League, you're sitting there and there's always like 1 or 2 teams that have started their year really well, and you're like, didn't see that coming. Steelers, 3-0. Comfortably atop their division right now.
Without Russell Wilson.
Can you believe it? Can you believe that? The Vikings, 3-0. Lions, 2-1. Packers, 2-1. NFC North's going to be a bloodbath this year.
Yeah.
And then the Seahawks at 3-0. What's the Seahawks schedule look like here? Oh, they get the Lions next. Well, there goes your 3-0 record.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions won't be starting Skylar Thompson at quarterback, I don't think. Or anything like that.
So far, the Seahawks beat the Broncos by 6.
Yeah.
Beat the Patriots by 3. And then beat Skylar Thompson and the Dolphins by, I'll take the Lions in week 4.
Yeah, the honeymoon might be over.
Sorry, 12s.
Gino.
Sorry, 12s. Enjoy it. Enjoy it while you have it. All right, there you go. There's the Big 5 from the National Football League. Yes, I think this is a nice way to sort of like...
I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
I really like that.
Nice little mix up there. 5 away from changing 100. Let's hammer that today. If you've not yet subbed to the channel, we would love it. Locked and loaded for another season of NHL action with your Edmonton Oilers. We're going to get to the preseason game coming up here just after 7 o'clock today. Reed Wilkins Show, EST Afternoons with Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage. If you've not checked out these programs yet, you are missing out. Reed is just doing a fabulous show with the glue guy by his side every day from 3 to 6 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. You can listen on TuneIn. You can listen on iHeart. You can listen at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. You can download the podcast after the fact. Or, of course, you can watch right here on YouTube as well.
Changing 100.
Oh, who's on his game today? Trav's on his game today. Well done, sir. Well done. Hey, how was your Elks game experience, Mr. I'm in a suite?
It was it was pretty sweet. Not gonna lie, had a lot of fun. As soon as Zach and I heard all you can eat buffet, we were like, "Yep." Zach just spent the majority. Where's Zach? You just turn around and he's always by the.
You just hook a
Wow.
feed bag up to that guy.
This food is unreal. Yeah, so it was awesome. A huge shout out to Murray. That was so kind. He extended the offer to Tommy. Tommy said, "Hey, Zach, Trev, you want to come?" And then asked
So
the
Tommy's
lady.
inviting other people to Murray's suite.
A little bit, yeah.
Classic move.
Yeah, so it was good. The Gazzolas were there, so it was always it's a good crew, right? So had so much fun. Zach had a lot of fun, and then afterwards we went to local to celebrate because it's Tommy's birthday today.
It's Tommy's birthday today?
Yep.
Oh, so you guys went to local on Saturday.
Yeah, so bought him a beer.
Oh,
Very
that's
nice. Of me.
nice.
But
That's nice.
yeah, it sucks they lost, but it was still good time. I
And the
had a really
tailgate,
good
you had a
time.
nice good group shot. I saw as well on.
Yeah, I'm
on
just looking
Twitter
at it
there.
now. There's Wheels was there, VR was there, Ginger was there, Box Pounder, Cal in the Park and his wife. So Yeah, it was really fun. We had a good old time. Zach forgot the tent, but it was good.
Did you have enough chips?
Yeah, we did actually. They like our chips.
Yeah.
Like we keep on handing them out.
People
but-
love free chips.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Variety of flavors.
yep. No, it was good. No complaints.
Excellent. Sounds like a great night. Let's get into our good, bad, and ugly from the weekend. Lieutenant Eric, what's your good, buddy?
Well, Golden Bears football improving to 2-2 in conference play. They walloped the Rams 30-6, a game that I rented for 2 cents on Telus there, as you do.
Yeah, that's
I
always
love
nice.
it. Would you like to rent this? 2 cents? Yep. So 30-6, and again, talking about the 253 yards rushing for the Golden Bears in that win. So a dominating performance on the ground.
Peterson was back then, eh?
Yeah, I just
to have been.
it was kind of by committee. I think he cracked the 100-yard marker in a touchdown, but I had this pulled up here somewhere.
This is the Reed Wilkins show. Good luck charm because they had the quarterback on their show last.
Yeah, Hetlinger there. Here it is.
It's not easiest.
Peterson,
to find stats,
yeah, I know. Peterson, 10 rushes, 116 yards and a touchdown. Oshanubi, 79 yards and a touchdown. Hetlinger, a couple of runs for 10 yards. I mean, it was all by committee. Then they had a few other guys taking the football, but 253 on the ground. Big win, 2-2 now for the Golden Bears, and they'll visit the Huskies next week. That's my good.
My good from the weekend was yesterday morning. So Marshall and Elizabeth are members of the kids club, like the Elks kids club.
Okay.
And I don't know, it's like $25 for the year. You get like a bag and stuff and go on the field after the game. And anyway, one of the things was you got to do an Elks camp. So yesterday morning, we were at Commonwealth at 9:00 down on the turf. I don't know, there was probably like 80 to 100 kids there.
Good to see.
And Gino Lewis ran it. MBT was out there. Purifoy was there. Beatty was there. And Aaron Grimes was there. And these guys were great with the kids. Like Marshall and the Muzz absolutely loved it. Our plan was to, because Elizabeth had hockey practice at like 11:30. So our plan was to like leave at 10:30. I'd take her. I had to hockey practice. So we grabbed her off the field, got her ready to go. And she's like, I could tell. I was like, what's wrong? She goes, I'm having too much fun here, Daddy. I don't want to go to hockey practice. I said, you know what, daughter? You stay. You stay. So she stayed. I went to her hockey practice by myself because it was the first one of the year. I'm one of the coaches, so I was like, I better go. But they had that much fun. Like she didn't want to leave. They had
Choosing
absolutely
football over
tremendous
hockey.
time. Hey, interesting.
Controversy in the
Well,
household.
Marsh was a little rattled because there really wasn't many footballs. It was mostly like running drills and like
I was going to say,
jumping over things.
Is it hats and harnesses?
Three cone drills.
Like, like blocking,
He's
blocking
like, he
technique?
comes up after the first one and goes, Daddy, is this just all going to be drills? I was like, this is football, man.
Yeah.
He's like, I said, do you still want to play? He goes, well, yes, I think so, but I just want to be a quarterback. I was just like, of course, that's what you want to be. Anyway, Gino was great. I mean, they were all great with the kids. It was a real fun experience. If you had kids down there, hopefully they had a good time too, but our kids had a great time. What's your bad from the weekend?
That's good to see. The bad was the Elks lost to the Bombers. Trey Ford jettisoning your fantasy football league as well. I mean, it was kind of an all fronts there. And again, not
My
just
league is not as important as the Elks playoff hopes, though.
I know. I guess I did have it second there. So Trey Ford jettisoning your fantasy football league, and then the Elks lost to the Bombers. Also, Scott McCord. I'm sitting on the sidelines here.
This is pathetic.
I have Raquel Armstead as well on my roster, who nobody came after at the trade. He was attempted to be picked up this week. Nobody could get him because he's with me. Same with Nathan Rourke. Same with Cody Fajardo, and the list goes on. But Scott McCord and his Shreveport Pirates finding themselves in a semifinal matchup with Matt Iwanik's Sacramento Goldwiners and getting pumped about 2-1, 100 and some to 50. Starting Frankie Hickson, who wasn't even dressed. How is McCord still in your league? It's embarrassing.
pathetic.
It's embarrassing.
It's a pathetic league.
And it's more embarrassing for me watching on the sidelines, not having any control over this or any sort of skin in the game still. Because my head-to-heads, I lost to him somehow. I was beating the Texans. I actually had big wins during the season, but I lost against him, which garnered any possibility of a tiebreaker moot. So, yeah, that was bad. Bad for me, bad for the league. It's a bad look for the league.
You know what? I'll say this. Kerfoot didn't have any of that in our two semifinals.
You got beat.
I got beat straight up.
Exactly.
Fully dressed roster.
Yeah. And he had time to pick up. I mean,
there's options out there.
Litre. I was screaming Litre.
Did anybody have James Butler?
I think my brother picked him up.
He did. Well, of course he did. That's why he wins all of
the
it.
Mad Dash now just is grabbing all these running backs and putting them on IRs and everything. And
Man,
so now it's Maddie. It's Sacramento v. San Antonio for Dunya Glory.
I'm going to hold this over Wannick's head all of next season. You had a guy dress a guy who wasn't even playing
Please
in
do.
a game
Please do.
in a semifinal.
And his boy cost you the.
And you're the commish.
Well, that's
unbelievable. My bad from the week. I got to go back to the play call to try to throw the ball to an offensive lineman on a crossing route. Like usually the offensive lineman, it's like you're at the goal line. Everybody forgets about him. Pops off to the side. He's wide open. You just give it to him. I don't know if I've ever seen a team draw up a play for an offensive lineman on their own 25, especially in the fourth quarter of a game that's super tight. It just made no sense to me. I don't know what then Jarius Jackson's been great. I don't know what they were thinking on that play. It didn't make any sense to me. You've been running the ball like a fiend all night. All right, what's your ugly from the week?
Your Chicago White Sox hitting the 120 loss marker.
Oh.
They currently sit, and this is 36 and 120.
120 losses.
36 wins. Again, 36 wins. I mean, the Scott McCord of the AL Central here. Yeah, I'll say it. I don't give a shit. I am so... That fries me.
It's pathetic.
36 and 120. A winning percentage of .231. They are 53 and a half games back of first place Cleveland.
Is this the worst season of all time?
Yes, they tie. Well, tying the 1962 Mets. 4 games lost. So when you're tying the Mets,
and it's not done yet.
Yeah, it's not done yet. Let's just take a peek here. Yeah, the White Sox. Who do we got?
And imagine being a White Sox fan.
I love it. I almost might get a hat. I mean, they were getting 15 people to a game.
You're gonna you're
just because
pity
why
support.
not?
Pity support.
You got the Angels at home.
Nobody will ever blame you for hopping on the bandwagon, buddy.
Well, then they visit the Tigers as well, and I think Detroit, are they still kind of in a wild card mix? Anyways, but yeah, that's the ugly. Also an ugly, and sticking with the football theme, James Madison University. You'll like this going into North Carolina. I know you're a Dookie, so it's
I hate those guys.
But North Carolina put up 50. They lose 70-50 at home.
Ouch!
You put up 50 points at home and you lose 70-50.
That's a tough.
Alonzo Barnett III, 7 total touchdowns. If you had him in your college fantasy,
I always liked his father, Alonzo Barnett II.
2.
My ugly. First of all, one of my uglies was that I wasn't on the air the morning after the Ohtani game. Like, are you kidding me with this guy?
We mentioned it.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, like,
believe in the night he had that game, yeah.
Well, yeah, the season, but that game, he had like the greatest baseball game ever. That was insane.
Did you get a chance to peruse Jose Canseco's feed?
Do I want to?
Well, he gave credit where credit is due.
Himself?
But correctly, well, yes, first, and then he congratulated Shohei and said, welcome to the club type of thing.
No, my ugly is, I drove to Calgary Thursday night. We had meet the teacher night, and then I headed down to Calgary like around 8 o'clock, 8:30. And I'm driving down, and the storm that I was in that smallest rental of all time. So I'm in a Nissan Kicks. Look it up. This is the tiniest car I've ever seen in my life. So I'm buzzing down to Calgary in this rental, and I'm talking.
What color?
If anyway, a black one.
Okay.
So and there was this guy ahead of me, by the way, who didn't have like his lights on. So it's dark. I was just like, this guy's an idiot.
Tail lights.
Anyway, I'm watching the lightning. It was lighting up the whole sky on the way down. And then just north of Red Deer, probably about 20 minutes north of Red Deer, the rain just starts coming. And I'm talking like in sheets sideways. Like, and I'm like, what's his name when he's landing the airplane and he's like wiping sweat off. I'm like, oh my God. So there's like semis are still flying and I'm trying to get down there. So it was raining so hard that when I got to Red Deer, I was just like, I'm just going to pull over for a bit. Try to let this storm pass.
Yeah.
So there was, and I don't know if
pull over
timing wise it was interesting. No, I pulled over into a gas station,
Okay.
got a water or whatever, kind of sat there for like 10, 15 minutes listening to a podcast, and these semis just flying by. So then I pull back out on the road, and I start driving back down, and like 15 minutes past Red Deer, sure enough, there's a semi flipped over on its side, smashed kind of through all those little things on the side of the road. And traffic was being pushed over to one side. And I was just like that. That's how nasty of storm it was. It was unbelievable.
Was the freight also out? Like if a semi diapers everywhere, or
Mars bars.
Well,
what a time to be alive.
Sometimes it's an opportunity.
No, it was, but I don't know if it was that semi that was right next to me when I pulled over, but I was kind of thankful. I was like, man, good thing I pulled over. Like, what if I'm cruising along in the smallest car of all time and this semi gets blown over down on top
It's the Simpsons episode. Homer and the family get the hotel. They see a car do the exact same thing, and they're watching from the hotel. I wanted you to get to this Nash and Whitecourt text here in the Paris Jewelers inbox because I think we have I'm calling text of the day.
This Tommy gift card thing? Who wants to chip in on a Sephora gift card for Tommy's birthday?
Tell me where to send the money.
Tommy the wrench.
You're going to Sephora.
He's a birthday boy.
So it's
a birthday boy.
It was a black Kicks. I thought it'd be like a lime green or like a sky blue or
kick.
something.
No, I did feel like I was in it was almost like I was in a go-kart. I was flying in that thing. Like when I got into the parking garage at the Westin in Calgary, I was trying to what do you make it when you make it slide a little bit like in Fast and the Furious? I was like Bill says, Dusty, I was at Mr. Mike's in Red Deer and I came out to that incredible storm. Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. All right. On the way, 5 takeaways from the Oilers' preseason win. Dun, 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 dun. Can anybody stop this team? We'll find out in a split squad tonight. If they win both split squads tonight, it's on. That's it.
Hello.
Expectations through the roof.
Especially against the Flames, who, I mean, again, that's
the enemy.
Well, tough opposition.
Flames won last night, too. Dustin Wolf.
Battle of the undefeateds.
Wow. This is exciting stuff. We'll get into that coming up just after 7 o'clock. We'll dive into the Monday Nighter a little bit. Mike Tenier is going to be by, and that hurts for James H. Brown. Short yardage. We're going to discuss calmly at 7:45 today. But first, an update with Lieutenant Eric for Green Plan.
The Edmonton Oilers dropping the puck on the preseason last night with a 3-2 overtime victory over the Jets. Cam Dineen with the winner, while Sam O'Reilly and Raphael Lavoie also found themselves on the score sheet. Preseason will continue tonight, both here and in Calgary, with split squad action against the Flames. Chiefs improving to 3-0 with a 22-17 victory in Atlanta on the Sunday Nighter. You can join me tonight at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. It's a Monday night doubleheader. Bills hosting the Jaguars at 5:30, while a battle of former LSU Tiger quarterbacks will see the Bengals host the Commanders at 6:15. Loaded burgers on special throughout the evening. Edmonton Oil Kings opening the regular season over the weekend with a pair of losses on the road to Lethbridge and Medicine Hat. The club are back in action Saturday at 2 o'clock for their home opener against the Hitmen. AJHL action saw Calgary defeat Lloyd 3-2. Action will resume Wednesday with 4 games. Jays wrapping up their road schedule in Tampa over the weekend, getting swept by the Rays. Jays are back home for a couple of series to wrap the regular season, beginning tonight against Boston, and another 3-game set with the Marlins. Shohei Ohtani, meanwhile, he continues his tear. He hit his 53rd homer of the season yesterday, while also reaching 55 stolen bases in the Dodgers' 6-5 win over the Rockies. Elks will look for revenge Friday from Winnipeg to kick off Week 17 in the NFL. Edmonton falling to 5-9 in Saturday's 27-14 loss to the Bombers. You can join the EST crew for this one out at Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Kickoff at 6. The Green and Gold kickoff show with Maddie and Malin will get going at 5. Edmonton Huskies fall to the Regina Thunder 32-11 out at the JP Bowl, while the Wildcats, they drop one of the Hilltops on the road 45-19. It's a Battle of Edmonton Saturday from the JP Bowl as the Huskies host the Wildcats. Kickoff at 7. Golden Bears football improving to 2-2 Friday with a 30-6 victory over the Rams. The Bears are in Saskatoon Friday night to battle the Huskies. Golden Bears hockey with a split against the Dinos over the weekend to put a wrap on their preseason. The puck drop in the regular season goes Friday night, October 4th against Grant Mack down at the Drake. Sports Update brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting service. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Green Plan. Visit green-plan.com or give them a call, 780-455-4292.
I love Jesse. He's always having fun.
Jesse was picked 4th. Yeah, we didn't think he'd be there at the time. Now we've watched him play, we know he'll be just fine. Jesse's got himself some skills, should be on McDavid's line. And Aikens would have loved his eyes, and McClellan loves that body, you just know it. And now he's holding both his arms way, way up high. No doubt about it, that was Jesse's goal. Nobody but Jesse's goal. How did he learn to finish like that? Let's start planning the parade. The Oilers finally decided to make some change. You know I feel so dirty when it starts playing cute. We complain about the Hall trade, but the point is probably moot. And Higgins would have loved his eyes, and McClellan loves that body, you just know it. And now he's holding both his arms way, way up high. No doubt about it, that was Jesse's goal. Nobody but Jesse's goal. How did he learn to finish like that? That's Jesse's
Oh, yes, a Bully Harvey goal song.
Those hips don't lie, hey?
He's got the, well, that's it. He's totally fixed.
Yeah.
Preseason hat trick. 100% of the offense for the Pittsburgh Penguins in a preseason game. And
That matters.
Listen,
As we've been saying, yeah.
I played it. Nobody better complain because when Yamamoto got his little PTO, we played the Kyler Yamamoto song.
For sure.
Celebrate that these guys have gone on to different things, you know? Not going to necessarily say bigger and or better or either, but they've gone on to different things.
He's out in the East. Yeah.
Let's hit that one more time, right? That's real nice. Yes, a Pulley RV goal song for you. All right, Mike Tenier is coming up around 7:35. Nielson Show presented to you by Southfort Chevrolet. We're going to have our first ever full day, 6 to 6 on location broadcast. Food, drinks, giveaway, exclusive sales throughout the day. Southfort Chevrolet partnering with a few local businesses out there as well. We're going to give us some Oktoberfest vibes. It's going to be real nice. Drive a little, save a lot. October 4th, EST. We're coming to the fort. It'll never be the same. That's happening on October 4th.
I still want Claire to take one of us out from the grassy knoll. The Nerf gun, you know.
Oh, with the Nerf gun. I was
with the Nerf, obviously.
Claire's way too nice to murder one of us.
Bing, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds real nice. Text us. Did you watch the game last night? Did you watch the Oilers win? You can text us into the Paris Jewelers inbox. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Family owned and operated with 22 stores in 4 provinces across the country. Shop in-store or online at www.parisjewelers.com. Flexible payment options, including do not pay for 1 year. No big deal. That's real nice. Speaking of real nice, the Estes last week. So we had the Estes last Tuesday. Phenomenal
apparently,
night.
Tonight at Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Rip City Step will be awarded his award from VR Montenegro. That's what they were breaking in the nasty chat this morning.
I love it.
Get on down there for that.
He's the Texter of the Year.
Yep.
Very well done. No, but I was going to say, we've gained 2 new clients who were at the Estes, watched it, and were like, I want my company to be a part of what you guys are doing here, which is awesome. So thank you very much for the support. That's incredible.
Just a taste. One night they get a taste.
They come out
that's
to
kind of the
Estes.
moral of
Well,
the...
we had another client who did something with us at the golf tournament and has reached out since and been like, you know, we saw what happened at the golf tournament. We want to be a part of this too. So, I mean, we're not making this stuff up. It's awesome to see the support. If you'd like to partner with us on any of our shows, business@edmontonsportstalk.com. It's business@edmontonsportstalk.com. We think we can give you the best bang for your buck that you'll find anywhere in the city. So don't be shy to reach out. Business@edmontonsportstalk.com. Burglars, and it says, guys, who had the bigger game? Jesse Puljujarvi or Shohei Ohtani?
A great question.
You know what? Let me think about it. We'll get back to you. Guys, I'm going to say it. It was my birthday yesterday, and as a surprise, my wife took me to the Oilers game yesterday. Good game. That one's in from Minnie Cooper, who texted in today. I wanted to get to this one from Rob as well. This is into the Paris Jewelers inbox. So since it's Tommy's birthday today, does he get to lead the Oilers stretch at practice? Somebody please Photoshop Tommy Gazzola into the middle of an Oilers stretch, and let's get it out there for his birthday.
Perfect.
That would be hilarious.
Josh Clausen as well in the Paris Jewelers inbox. I don't know if you saw his.
No, I didn't see. Did he have the latest on the weather?
He's texted in 3 times now. His first text was Finau. His second text was Ranch. And his third text this morning.
He was trying to win prizes?
He's coming hard after it. And but yeah.
What was the third? I don't see it.
No,
I don't see it.
it.
Oh, here we are.
Yeah.
Oh, we got it. Yeah. Oh my God. This guy going for text of the day.
He's trying, eh?
Klaus, if you want an A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger, just ask. I'll bring you one. Look at that forecast. Autumn, more like hot'em.
Wow. Third time's a charm here for his Finau.
He's winning text of the day today, and I'm going to deliver his gift certificate to him at the Bell building today because I have to go back because my email's been screwed, and I've got to go sit at Bell for like 2 hours this afternoon. So I'm not looking forward to that. You want to rant?
Carve out a little time for that, maybe.
No, nothing will take my focus off short yardage issues today. Nothing, I tell you. All right, so if you watched the game yesterday, you can slide on in.
Doesn't sign text guy with an interesting theory as well, following the play of Cam Dineen last night. Should Cam Dineen run the power play this year? Trade Bouchard after that performance.
Fair questions. Fair questions. Goal and assist? Overtime winner?
Overtime winner.
I don't know. Did Bouchard score an overtime winner yesterday?
Tough luck.
No, he didn't. Something to think about. This one says, guys, I was at the game with my nephew in the nosebleeds. The lady beside me had to cover her ears because he was screaming so hard. I almost told her, you think this is loud? You wouldn't last at an Oil Kings game. Yeah. Kids are loud at Oil Kings games.
He said, sugared up, 4 iced teas, 2 cookies, and an apple pie.
What?
Just having a night.
4 iced tea. How old is this kid? 4 iced teas, 2 cookies, and an apple pie. My kids don't even drink pop because, as they say, it's too spicy. Because it's carbonated. They're like, it's too spicy, Daddy. I can't do it. I'm like, good. Don't start drinking pop. Yeah, Marshall's not going to drink pop until there's spice rum in it when I'm going to say 24 years old.
You don't even call it pop, call it mix.
Yeah, that's not, what's your favorite drink? Mix?
Soda, pop, it's mix.
Jason Leduc says, what a wordsmith. He should write lyrics or something. All gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes. Yeah.
All right, Oilers game. 5 things, 5 takeaways from the Oilers preseason victory. Congratulations. Split squad tonight against Calgary, which would mean the big boys are playing in one of these 2 things if you're rolling the split squad, so you can get your eyes on that one. Podkolzin, I think you have to be happy with this. Couple big checks. Help set up the winner. If he can be a guy who gets in the bottom 6 and crashes and bangs a little bit, that is enough for people to love him in this city. That's it. He's got a couple of things going for him. Here's what Podkolzin has going for him. Not going to shy away from physicality. Boom. That makes people love you. Have a Russian accent and say funny things. Boom. That makes people love you.
2 points.
That's 2 things right there. This guy's on the 3rd line. I mean, by the time we're like 10 days into the regular season, he'll be on the 3rd line just because of those 2 things.
And
he
the
hits
classic
people
story
and he sounds kind of funny. I love this guy.
Of switching, it couldn't work there. So now it's that redemption, right, arc. Like new, fresh start.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the storyline that you really get behind and want to get behind. Everybody loves a good fresh start,
Who doesn't love a fresh
Especially
start?
when you've been touted, and now fresh start. Expectations maybe a little lower.
Tell me right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Vasily Podkolzin?
I would say about it. I don't want. Yeah, I'm a 10.
Yeah.
10. Okay.
This guy loves Podkolzin.
I do.
Get this guy a jersey.
Yeah. No.
I need Zach to go to a thrift store, find an Oilers jersey. We'll take it to Pro-Am. We'll get Podkolzin's name put on it for you.
Sign me up. I love that. No, it's nice. I'm happy. We talked about it a week ago. He was a guy that I'm going to be keeping my eyes on. So I'm happy that he ranks 1 on your big 5 things.
Well, I didn't necessarily have them in order.
Okay.
I just had 5
He
things.
hasn't mentioned Connor Carrick yet.
No,
this is true.
He's not on the list.
Okay. Well,
I do have Cam Dineen on the list, though.
Okay.
I mean, great
Texter
pass
pointed
to help
out,
set
yeah.
up a goal. Yeah. Finishes it. Nobody. Now, once again, not giving him an open night job. But for these guys who you get to throw on the jersey for a few games in the preseason, to put some tape together that makes you think, we'll keep tabs on him a little bit more than we. Like, congratulations, man. That's great.
big night. Yeah.
That's great news. That's another one. Anytime a first-round pick scores in their first preseason game, people are going to get, very aroused by this. And the kid did it last night. Nice finish, too. It was a nice goal. So now he's going to be slotted in. on the opening night lineup. Somebody's going to be like, well, hey, if he does that 3 more times, what do you think?
Gives you time to think.
I think he's going to be back in junior in 10 days.
Yeah.
But still, that was good. You know what else people love? This is what we learned. I've learned this from Oilers preseason over the last 15 years in this city. I'm not sure anybody in this market loves anything more than off-wing power play one-timers. And Raphael Lavoie got one of those last night. And as soon as you see it, you're like, that's Mark Letestu. That's what that guy can be. That's our Ovechkin. That's how it works. Don't tell me, not for a second, that last night you saw that go and you were like, oh my God, PP2, he's on the side and they one-timers. Like, I know you were fired up about it. Does it mean it'll happen at any point in the regular season? Probably not. But it happened in the preseason. Check a box for him.
Well, from Ben Gleason and Hoffman as well, right?
Interesting.
Gleason season, Hoffman making a case.
Hoffman, not so much last night. Give him a couple more. Let's see if somebody else will sign him. All right, so that's number 3. Number 4, I guess, Raphael Lavoie. And then former University of Alberta Golden Bear.
Nice.
Noah Philp. And this, I got 2 things here for you that could be his ticket to the Oilers by the middle of the season. First of all, he has to beat out like Corey Perry and Derek Ryan. We're both older players, don't get around a ton anymore. But Philp last night was 9 for 12 in the faceoff circle. 75% on the draw. Literally, all he might have to do is be a 6'3" right-handed center who can win faceoffs, and he could be on this team at some point throughout the season. And what did he do last night? I think he drew a penalty last night.
Yep, had a shot.
Won 75% of his faceoffs, big body, right shot. He'll get NHL games at some point this year.
You know who is 100% in the dot? Drake Kajula.
What?
3 shots.
What?
Tell you.
Totally forgot he played last night.
Well, and again, one of the old guys.
I mean,
yeah. Good in the room.
Not having. But, I mean, if you're Phil, literally, you might be able to make this team at some point this year by winning faceoffs, not screwing up.
And as a former Golden Bear,
that could be enough.
Well, you're halfway there already.
Well, I mean,
that's you've got to.
Stoff's got an opinion on everything.
Yeah, there you go.
He would totally have this guy's back, which would go a long way, we think.
He's a made man, almost. Eh? the kiss.
Phil got to camp. Phil got to camp. Stoff came up and kissed him on both cheeks. That was it. So that one, I like. What more does he need to do to be a bottom 6 forward on this team? Like, it could be a situation where Derek Ryan gets hurt, Phil gets called up, wins faceoffs for you, doesn't hurt your team in any way, gets around the ice significantly better than a few of the other older options in the bottom 6, and Derek Ryan gets Wally pipped. I mean,
that's 2 Wally pips. I love it.
I set the over-under on 3.5 Wally pips today. We're already at 2 of them. It's going pretty well. So there you go. There's 5 takeaways from the Oilers preseason game last night. If you loved that, hammer the thumbs up over on YouTube.
Not quite an orange and blue or morning after show
We're not
breakfast or there, but it's like a granola bar and a black coffee.
Yeah, I
Kinda
guess.
get you going.
I've never
It'll get
technically had a granola bar and a black coffee.
Get your
together,
digestion humming. You get it all out of you.
This gets things moving.
There you go.
So let me ask you this, Trev. We talked about Colson, Philp, Lavoie, Riley, Deneen.
Kajula.
He brought up Kajula. Hoffman was mentioned briefly.
And Gleason season.
It's always Gleason season.
Right? Hey.
Which of the 5 that we discussed do you think they got the most out of last night for what they did? Like, is it Pod Colson because we know he's probably going to be on the team? Is it Philp because he did some things that could eventually get him a shot? I don't know about the other 3, but what do you think?
Yeah, so it's tricky because Tommy hasn't shared his Oilers Plus with any of us, so I wasn't able to watch the game. But yeah, we talked about that. No, like, I mean, as far as like, it's definitely a good thing, I will say, for like Raphael Lavoie. Like he was talked about last year as, you know, maybe a question mark. Can he crack the lineup come opening night? That wasn't the case. So I think for his case, like getting off, you know, getting a goal, like that's kind of his trademark, is his shot. So the fact that he was able to, you know, register on the power play, like that's huge for him. He's got to be happy with his performance. Like I said, I didn't watch the game, but like, yeah, I tuned in, saw the goal. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's exactly what he should be doing. That's what he did last year. So if he can carry that going forward, I think, you know, the coaches are obviously going to keep an eye on him. They should. He's more than ready. This is his year. If he, you know, is ready to take that step, you know, like they drafted him like 4 or 5 years ago now. So, I like that performance. And then as far as Vasily Podkolzin, he's as advertised. We talked about it. So, those are the two players I think, you know, that showed up.
If you want to chime in, 780-218-9999. If you're at the game last night, feel free to share your thoughts with us as well into the Paris Jewelers inbox. And if you're watching over on YouTube today, you can do that as well. And hammer the thumbs up for us as we continue to work our way through the show to push our content out to others just like you who enjoy entertaining sports discussion. All right. We'll get into the split squad a bit. Danny Austin's going to join us. Covers both the Stampeders and the Flames. So we'll talk a little bit about the Calgary Stampeders and what the hell has happened down there. And then we'll get into the split squad matchups here with the Flames tonight. We'll get into that a little bit with Danny Austin as well. Monday Night Football, double dip. And these games are basically going on at the same time. It's not even really a doubleheader. You'll have two games going.
5, 45, staggered. Yeah,
45 minutes, staggered. Who are you cheering for in that Jags-Bills game?
Well, it'll be an interesting tussle affair. Of course, the investment taking part in this. No, it's all Buffalo tonight, and yeah, well, but you know, this could be a bit of a banana peel in a sense. I know it's early on.
I think it'll be an entertaining game.
Should be an entertaining game, hopefully, for the neutral. But yeah, go Bills. And then speaking of entertaining, I think these quarterback story as well. A couple of Tigers, couple of those Tigers going at it. Commanders and Bengals. So.
It'll be interesting to see what Jaden Daniels does tonight.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to kind of sit down and watch an entire game of his from start to finish. Nothing against the Bills and Jags because, you know, with the investment and your Buffalo Bills, and that should be a pretty good game.
It's the Josh Allen Bowl as well, right? The old the defender that plays for the Jaguars, who's since added another hyphenated
Hines
last name.
Allen or whatever?
Hines Allen, you can't take the heat. But yeah, Jay Milton's Commanders. Going against Corey Coleman's Bengals.
Corey Coleman. That's a deep
pull.
drop from days gone by. All right, so let's build a little parlay here. We got two games. So we got two games to kind of work with tonight.
May I ask how the wheel has been? Like, did we? What was the weekend wheel?
We hit a partner parlay. We hit the CFL parlay, I believe.
The wheel is just.
We need a touchdown tonight from James Cook to hit the house callers, which was 4 touchdown scores picked over the weekend. We got our first 3. We just need that.
Didn't we just take money line on our 3 spins, like for the in-house wheel?
Yeah. Who did we have on that?
I seem to think we had Chargers Steelers something going on there, perhaps. Like
we did have Chargers.
We had the Chargers.
We had the Chargers.
The wheel is not just.
No, that was our early bird pick. What was the wheel? The wheel was. Did the wheel not give us the Giants? Yeah. The wheel gave us the Giants. What else did the wheel give us last week?
Oh, wait, the virtual. Yeah.
The online wheel. It gave us the Giants.
Oh gosh.
Who else did it give us?
Come on.
The Ravens.
Oh,
okay.
And what was the other one?
Somebody's got a.
Oh man, what was the third one on the wheel?
Was it the Saints?
Was it
Casino
the
dealer
Falcons?
No,
It was the Falcons.
Oh,
yeah,
it was.
Yeah, it was the Falcons.
But it was the Falcons on the spread, and they lost by 5. Damn,
That's not bad.
it's close. The wheel was close.
We'll take it.
The wheel got
is close.
screwed over by short yardage play call.
Oh, you'll have a rant on this.
I'm coming at you, short yardage people, at 7:45 today. All right, so we got a couple of things tonight. Let's hop over to coolbet.com. That is where you can slide in and ride with us on this. We'll build a little 3-man parlay here. We got the Jags as 5.5-point underdogs against the Bills. The Bills are minus 238 on the money line. Some touchdown score numbers. Josh Allen to score a touchdown, minus 110. Travis Etienne to score a touchdown, minus 110. James Cook to score a touchdown, plus 300 in that game. Brian Thomas Jr. scored a touchdown, plus 250. I might be sprinkling that myself. The Commanders, plus 7 on the road against the Bengals. Let's see here. Player rush yards. Jaden Daniels, 49.5. The total in that one. And let's see. Player receiving yards. T. Higgins is back. He's at 47.5. Jamar Chase is at 79.5. Trev, give us a play, buddy. Give us a pick here for tonight. What are we looking at here? Jacksonville Jaguars, Buffalo Bills, your Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
They've let us down before, but what do you want to do? You just want to throw them on the money line just to win tonight? You confident enough in the Bengals? It's minus 323. We'll get some value somewhere else.
Yes. That is what I choose.
All right. The Oracle is going back to the Cincinnati Bengals.
They burned me before, but not tonight.
Come back.
Confident.
Jake says the random wheel parlay was Falcons plus 3.5 away from winning again.
Close, but no.
Man, that's ridiculous. They were right there. Even if they would have taken that earlier field goal.
Jake Bullen Moss here. He's got it all.
Yeah,
Giants plus 6.5, Ravens money line, and yeah.
That's a bad beat.
We got the Giants.
That's what they call it in the biz.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Cincinnati minus 323. Not a ton of value there, but a pretty safe play. Lieutenant Eric, what are you looking at? Is there a Buffalo Bill you think is going to score a touchdown tonight?
You said we had Cook on something, or what are we riding with Cook somewhere?
Well, we need a Cook touchdown tonight to cash our house callers 4-man touchdown score parlay, which I feel pretty good about. Like a James Cook touchdown.
He did pretty
tonight?
good in prime time last time, I do believe.
He did.
Those tight ends too. Kincaid. I know you've gone to that well. I know.
Kincaid's crushed me 2 weeks in a row. We can't put Kincaid on here.
Don't call him Andrews. I think I took a Josh Allen touchdown before and it didn't work.
Yeah. So you want to go back there, or you want to go? I mean, it's coming down to a Josh Allen touchdown or a James Cook touchdown, probably for you, right?
Give me Cook.
A Cook touchdown. All right. So we've got Cincinnati Bengals money line tonight. James Cook touchdown. That brings us to plus 162. Feeling really nice about that. I don't think I'm probably going to go to this Commanders game. Let's see here. Get Jaden Daniels did not rush a ton last week. His total's at 49.5. That's pretty high for a quarterback, but he is a great rushing quarterback.
The investment's nowhere to be seen either. Like he's
well, let me see. Let's run some numbers on the investment, hey? What a nerd I sound like right now. You know what? I should fade the investment to try to make back some of my, let's see. Player passing. What's a Trevor Lawrence interception tonight? Over minus 133. Do I fade the investment? This is my guy. I have a lot into him in rookie cards.
Or you go the under. Yeah. Or over under.
Fade. I can't. This kills me. Yeah. This kills me to fade the investment, but I'm thinking about it. It's killing me. No, I can't do it. I'm in on
too
this
much
guy.
Value.
I'm going Jaden Daniels rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
Let's go there instead. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's go rushing. Where's the rushing TD?
Tigers.
TD score. Jaden Daniels plus 125. Boom. Plus 489. Jake, you're here. You got it. Bengals money line. James Cook touchdown. Jaden Daniels touchdown. Plus 489. I will continue to believe in the investment. That'll be our Monday Night Football parlay. Bengals minus 323. James Cook plus 100. Jaden Daniels plus 125. It's plus 489. We'll get a little friendly boost from our partners over at CoolBet. We'll find that a little bit later on today. It'll be up for sure by the time we get to the Lock Shop today at 11 o'clock. Speaking of the Lock Shop Poker Series. Locked and loaded, no pun intended, for tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Edmonton time. If you would like to join us, $30 buy-in. Just download the CoolBet poker software. Go to tournaments and search Lock Shop. Pops right up. You can register. I registered last night. I'm ready to go. And I believe I've set it up to stream from my basement while I play poker, which is going to totally change my life forever.
Come after that bounty.
Yeah, $100 bounty on my head. So if you come into the tournament and you get me, you get $100.
Plus, you get to say you got him. The $100, but then the legend of,
If you want to watch, so I'll be streaming live on the EST YouTube channel tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. If you want to come watch me with my sole purpose of this event to find Matthew Iwanek at a table and eliminate him, then it's going to be a pretty good time. I can't wait. I can't wait to become poker streamer. What do I wear? Because I'll have my little camera up in the corner and my reactions. What do I wear as a poker streamer?
Can you eat Oreos?
I'm definitely going to get the Oreos.
Get a big thing of Oreos.
I'm just going to eat a whole bag of Oreos the entire night. I think that'll be pretty fun. It's going to be a really fun time. So if you play poker, or you just want to have a good time with a bunch of nasties, go to coolbet.com, download the poker app, and hop in for the fun tomorrow night. And I think last time we had like 70 people. The guy who ended up winning it took home well over 500. Like he did really well.
Was that Remus 69 or whatever it was?
No, that was a fake account from somebody else. But no, looking forward to it. Lock Shop Poker Series, event number 2, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Download the poker software at coolbet.com. Register for the tournament, and I'll eliminate you at some point. It should be a lot of fun. We got Mike Tenier coming up. We're going to start with the Sunday Nighter, the Atlanta Falcons, causing the wheel to miss again. The wheel was that close. Dang, that was close. Mike Tenier, 2 Deep Zones, going to join us just after 7:30. That hurts for James H. Brown, still coming up. 3 questions too many, kind of easy trivia. Danny Austin out of Calgary in hour number 3 today. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up. And if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, please just send the link to EST to your friends. We think they'll enjoy the content as well. Let's get to a sports update with Lieutenant Eric for Park Mazda.
Oilers dropping the puck on the preseason last night with a 3-2 overtime victory over the Jets. Cam Dineen with the winner. Preseason action continues tonight, both here and down in Calgary with split squad action against the Flames. Free agent Tony DeAngelo, meanwhile, will be continuing his career in Russia. The 28-year-old defenseman signing a 1-year deal with SKA St. Petersburg this morning after going unsigned in North America during the summer. Chiefs improved to 3-0 with a 22-17 victory in Atlanta on the Sunday Nighter. You can join me tonight at Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for a pair of games. Bills hosting the Jaguars at 5:30, while the Bengals welcoming the Commanders just after 6. Loaded burgers on special throughout the evening and 6 o'clock or lager in the can. Oil Kings opening the regular season over the weekend with a pair of losses on the road, both to the Hurricanes and Tigers. The club are back in action Saturday at 2 for their home opener against the Hitmen. Calgary defeating Lloydminster 3-2 in AJHL action yesterday. Schedule will resume Wednesday with 4 games. Jays wrapping up their road schedule in Tampa over the weekend, getting swept by the Rays. Jays are back home for a pair of 3-game series beginning tonight against Boston and following it up with Miami. Shohei Ohtani, meanwhile, hitting his 53rd homer of the season yesterday, also reaching 55 stolen bases as the Dodgers take it over the Rockies 6-5. What's Jose Canseco have to say about that, eh? Elks look for revenge Friday from Winnipeg, kicking off Week 17 in the CFL. Edmonton falling to 5-9 in Saturday's 27-14 loss to the Bombers. You can join the EST crew for this one at the Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Kickoff is at 6. Edmonton Huskies falling to the Regina Thunder 32-11 out at the JP Bowl yesterday. The Wildcats falling on the road in Saskatoon 45-19 to the Hilltops. Huskies will host the Wildcats in the Battle of Edmonton this Saturday from the JP Bowl. Kickoff at 7. Golden Bears football improving to 2-2 Friday with a 30-6 win over the Rams. Bears are in Saskatoon Friday to take on the Huskies. Golden Bears hockey with a split against the Dinos over the weekend, wrapping up that preseason action. Puck drop in the regular season will go Friday night, October 4th against Grant Mack down at the Drake. Sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where he also hit 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases in a season, albeit beer league.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button. Thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
8:36 on the Nielson Show. Looking for a high of around 18 or 19 for today. Next couple of days, 26 and 28 degrees. I says, pardon? That's crazy. That's like mid to late June, early July weather.
Even those overnight lows in the double digits as well. So you'd be.
Hey, Mike says he's trying to get in, but it's oh, there he is. Yeah, he got him. Trevel set him up. Good to go. Mike Tenier is going to pop by. We'll get to That Hurts for James H. Brown coming up as well just before 8 o'clock this morning. Kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's. 3 questions too many. That's good for the Italian Center Shop. And then Danny Austin out of Calgary is going to pop by around 8:35 today as well. And we'll dive into what we should expect from Calgary Flames split squad. So we'll go into that. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much for being here this morning. Edmonton Oilers launching their preseason with a victory last night. We went through it just after 7 o'clock today. So the great thing about being live on YouTube all the time, you can scroll right back and check that out if you want. We'll obviously have more of it during the oil stream today as well. And yeah, happy birthday to Tommy Gazzola, who hasn't rolled into the chat yet on his birthday, which is little surprising.
Lining up at Sephora with that GC, maybe.
I mean, that's what it is. Mike Tenier, 2 Deep Zone. Lots to talk about in the National Football League. He joins us on the show this morning. Mike, I think we got to start with the Atlanta Falcons having a chance to get it done against Kansas City. Could have taken a field goal, then would have only needed another field goal. Could have had better play calling on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. But, I mean, Chiefs find a way again, I guess.
Chiefs find a way again, and the Falcons have been finding a way to lose this game since 28-3. Yeah. They have been finding a way, and there's a lot of would have, could have, should have, and there was also a lot of those final drives, and they keep driving down the field, and not quite getting it done. Where if you look at it and say, how much of it was penalties, how much of it was sort of fluky things that were kind of going their way, where it maybe wasn't quite that close. I know there was possibly pass interference in the end zone on one of the plays.
Yeah,
I don't see the Falcons win on like 5 straight penalties, and that's how you win that game. Credit to the Chiefs for again, playing good defense, finding another way to get it done.
Do you think the Falcons are headed in the right direction, or is this just the same old team?
It's hard to say. They could have been 0-3 if Charles Barkley catches a ball in the 4th quarter, and picks up a first down, or if the Eagles just kick a field goal or do something besides go completely in the pot. That could be an 0-3 team. You can see a lot of the things that they do well. They look a little bit better on defense. Kirk Cousins is certainly better than what they had quarterback last year, but what does this add up to? And when you say heading in the right direction, when will they get in that right direction? When Cousins is 39? So there's a lot of questions. This was supposed to be the year, and right now they're 1-2. The Saints, even though despite a loss, look better. The Buccaneers, despite a loss, look better. So it's tricky to try to evaluate this Falcons team.
Mike, when I went to school and I had to study for a test, and the test would be discussing math, I'd normally study for math and not history. The Cowboys giving up 190 yards to the Saints. Following that up, taking on the Ravens, you would think a better performance defensive-wise against a good rushing team. What's going on with the Cowboys?
They're like the Cowboys always are, only more so. This is a team, they win the opener, and you're like, oh, they dominate the Browns in the opener. I'll bet you they start coming out flat. The thing is, they've come out flat 2 consecutive weeks. I think yesterday's result was misleading. I don't know what to make of their late comeback, except that the Ravens seemed like they were already halfway in the locker room when that happened. I don't see right now what the Cowboys do particularly well. Dak doesn't look particularly good. Besides CD, they don't have weapons. They don't have much of a running game. I don't think the protection is great. The defense does not look very good at all. They got a couple of stops late in that game, but even that was more of, it was an onside kick and stuff like that. So Cowboys can beat the Giants next week. Giants got to win, but they're not very good. You look at their upcoming schedule, and you see the Steelers, who are playing very good football. You see the Lions, who are obviously a very strong team. You see the 49ers in that schedule. They'll have their guys back by then. I don't know how the Cowboys turn this around and have another one of their 13-win seasons.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. You're right. That schedule is not easy. I was kind of hesitant to ask this after the first couple of weeks, but they forced my hand winning 34-7 this week. Are the Minnesota Vikings the real deal here?
Yeah, to a degree, because first of all, Justin Jefferson is probably the best non-quarterback in the NFL right now. It's probably him or TJ Watt. Okay. That defense, Brian Flores' defense, is so confusing and so good at creating situations where the quarterback doesn't know where to go to the ball and the offensive line is getting a little freaked out and they're committing false starts and holding penalties. You throw on top of that, Sam Darnold is playing fine. He's not setting the world on fire, but he's playing fine. And this is a very strong team. And you cannot argue with a blowout of the Texans after a beating of the 49ers, no matter how you stack these things up and say, well, they were on the road, it was coming off Monday night, whatever. So you look at the NFC balance of power, and I don't think the Vikings are going to stay on top forever. But you say, who are these wild card teams? Who has that staying power? I don't think the Buccaneers have it. I don't think the Rams are not going to be able to stay on the pace. The Bears are not really going to pull themselves up to be anything but like spoilers. The Vikings can be that team that sits in that wild card picture and maybe does, battle the Lions a little bit for the division title.
Mike, just a week off at the office for that Saints high-powered offense that we were gushing over through the first 2 weeks. 12 points at home, albeit a tight game with the Eagles, but what happened there? More of an Eagles defensive mastery or just the Saints maybe taking a week off offensive-wise?
Yeah, the Eagles had to absolutely make a statement, and they did.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill was hurt, and it looked like he took all the creativity with him. It's odd because when I saw Taysom Hill was injured, it's like, well, they're still going to run their two-back attack, and they're going to have guys motioning in and out of the backfield. We saw almost none of that. We didn't see Rashid Shaheed in the backfield. We didn't see them trying to get the ball to Jamal Williams playing fullback. There wasn't as much play action. And I think some of that was stuff that they like doing when they've got a comfortable lead, even though it's successful. So instead of that, we had them running the ball okay, but getting into third and long and asking Derek Carr to make plays in third and long, that he's not particularly great at that. So that's what we saw there. Very weird game. Here in Philadelphia, people were losing their minds because if you look at it on paper, it's like, oh, that was nip and tuck. If you watched it during the game, it's like the Eagles should have dominated this game, kept making mistakes. So I still think the Saints are pretty good. It's just that I think the Saints are pretty good. They're not the 2007 Patriots, and that's what they look like through the first two games.
Look, I'm just going to rip this Band-Aid off. Should Andy Dalton have been picked first overall? Simple as that.
In fantasy drafts? Or
back in his draft year, should he have gone first overall? You know what I mean? Unbelievable.
Right. Erase the last 16 years, but my question for this is, do we have any more questions about Bryce Young? Do we have any more questions about this? I know we're going to play this game. Well, maybe he'll come back and maybe he has trade value. He's kind of demonstrated what he is at this point in his career. If he's going to ever be anything, it's going to be in a change of scenery, and hopefully that's a change of scenery where everyone around him is 5'10" as well, so that he can see over his linemen.
Yeah, how do teams? How do you blow it so badly with so much on the line? I just don't understand how you can screw up that type of pick. That makes no sense.
We all did. It's not like we were all criticizing it. People in the draft profession, people, the Mel Kipers of the world, folks like me who try to do a lot of draft analysts, none of them said, this is going to set the Panthers back 10 years. This kid's 5'6". Well, none of us said that. So we all kind of were drinking the same Kool-Aid there. I'll say this. Bryce Young, obviously a great player of Alabama, got lots and lots of accolades from Nick Saban, from Bill O'Brien down there. And we were all kind of told, ignore his size, ignore the fact that he doesn't look that physically imposing, doesn't even look like he's got that great legs or a huge arm because of all these intangibles. I think all of us should have been thinking a little bit more clearly about it and saying, is this true, or are we being told something by a bunch of coaches who really, really like the young man who led them to a lot of victories?
2 games tonight with Monday Night Football. Bills in Jacksonville. Bills are 2-0. Jacksonville desperately needs a win. Do we expect things to be any different for Jacksonville tonight than they have been through the first 2 weeks of the season?
I don't think so, because they should have been playing with urgency from the get-go. An unbelievably sloppy team. And if they keep playing the way they played in the last 2 weeks, you're going to see drop passes. You're going to see penalties all over the place. You're going to see blown blocks, weird calls on third and short, stuff like that. And that should make them pretty easy pickings for the Bills.
Does Jaden Daniels keep it close? I know a lot of people are expecting the Bengals to kind of blow up here, but what do you think?
I don't know what to make of the Bengals. I know that their alarm clock usually goes on this time of year, et cetera. I think Jaden Daniels can keep things kind of close because the system they have for him, they let him run the ball. They let him distribute the pass short a little bit. They don't force him to make a lot of mistakes. Like Caleb Williams is out there just making mistakes. He's trying to force the ball. I think the Commanders can keep things close. I think the Bengals should come away with it, though.
As always, man, we appreciate the time. Thanks a lot for popping by.
You got it. Take care and enjoy your week.
Yes, there it is. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. Mike Tenier giving us the enjoy your week on the video call.
Feels good.
God, Too Deep Zone. You find him, hit him up on Substack, Mike Tenier. That's TANIER if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at edmontonsportstalk.com.
I liked him just chilling in there before when he was kind of knocking on the door to get in. He looked like he was enjoying it, like a studio audience type of thing. Eh?
Yeah.
Mike on the video is just
it's just very relaxed.
Yeah.
You really like to see it. Yeah, you like to see it. Hey, Monday Nighter tonight, join Lieutenant Eric.
Loaded burgers.
Century Casino. Now, if I went in and I said, hey, I like the loaded burger, but not loaded, they'd still do that for me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Like T-Roy likes the smoked brisket cheesesteak, no onions. And they serve it no onions every single time.
And I go in, order the loaded burger, and then just say only with cheese and ketchup, please.
I'm thinking torpedo shrimp tonight as well.
What is a torpedo shrimp? Tell me about this.
It's a shrimp, and then they deep fried, and it's so breaded, and then they give you some of those it's like potato chip fries, and that's really nice, and a nice dipping sauce, marinara type of sauce with it. It's very good. I'm thinking of it right now.
Sounds real nice.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right.
Couple of DPs.
Join this guy, Century Casino, Sports Bar and Lounge.
2 games.
2 games tonight. 2 games tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hampton Steve is in and says, morning, boys. Let's pump the brakes on the Vikings. I want to see how they handle going into Lambeau this weekend against the Packers.
Yeah.
Who will likely have Love back at quarterback. You know what? I understand where you're coming from, Hampton Steve. That's why I said they've kind of forced my hand to ask about them being real, because this week, beating Houston comfortably makes me think, the Lions have some significant competition in the division. Not that the Packers aren't. I don't want to take anything away from them.
And how is Love back in the, did he go to one of those dolphin rooms? Like Aaron, how the hell?
Remarkable.
That's a quick turnaround there.
Remarkable recovery.
But the Lambeau test, yes, that's when you know a boy can grow into a man, right? Going into Lambeau. Or a team grows into a contender.
Deaky Sparks is in. Says, guys, as a Falcons fan, this wasn't the year. They don't have a year. They're built to build hopes. From Vic going to jail, Matty Ice cold in the red zone, to Father Time as a quarterback. Unless we change that, they're just a team you like if you enjoy not having much success and more heartbreaking choke jobs.
Well, them and a handful of other teams, God. I think you can argue around the NFL, right? I mean, you need your fodder. I do remember the Dirty Bird, though. Remember that in those days, eh? Anderson and was it Chandler?
Deaky Sparks. That's such a heartbreaking text.
He's on the mark. He hits it right on the nose. That's what that franchise is.
As a Falcons fan, this wasn't the year. Yeah. They don't have a year.
Oh, I mean, look at the Cardinals giving Tommy a birthday gift with a loss to your Lions.
My goodness.
It's another one.
Kevin Van Delsler over on YouTube says, guys, can we say the Vikings are for real? For real. For
Sam
real.
Darnold, you are for real? Slap on a little edit to that, eh?
Yeah, no doubt, eh? That's pretty impressive.
Bone says, Mike and Herm, can you get better NFL coverage on a static-free sports talk format? I don't think so.
I think we got two pretty good guests right there.
Not bad.
2 pretty good guests right there.
Monday, Friday.
Let's get into That Hurts. Brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. They teamed up yesterday with the Edmonton Toy Run in support of Santa's Anonymous. All set up there. Looked like a pretty good time. I'm not sure anybody in the city does more for charity than Trent and the crew at James H. Brown. So a huge thank you from the city to them for being involved in pretty much every single cause that you can find. I've been waiting all morning to get to this. I started to lose it a little bit earlier on. Hey, everybody, get the SD ready. I don't understand what's happening with short yardage. Both sides of the border. Both leagues. It's absolutely.
You want to start up here? Or you want to start down there?
You tell me. Where do you want me to start? You know what? I'll start in the NFL.
Okay.
Because I want to save the Dave Dickinson thing for the end. Because I just don't. I don't know. I didn't coach football. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I don't understand it. I'll say that first. Maybe I'm wrong in these situations.
Very Jose Canseco of you to put yourself for.
Why can't the National Football League? Let's start down there. Why can't the NFL have their backup quarterback work as a short yardage quarterback? Like, we're sitting here watching a critical game last night on Sunday Night Football between the Falcons and the Chiefs. And literally on the broadcast, they're like, well, Kirk Cousins just back from a significant injury, lower body. Yeah, you're not going to run the short yardage play with him. Well, then have somebody else come in on 3rd and 1 and push ahead for a yard. Like, why does this not happen Like, it's way too often in the National Football League. You're sitting here going, like, and don't tell me, oh, the backup quarterbacks are too valuable. You can't put them in this situation. They might get hurt. You're just going to have to do horrible play calling on the 3rd and 4th and 1. Like, come on. What are we doing here? You see what they did last night? Third and 1. Kirk Cousins, shotgun, hand it off. Algier, nowhere to go. Second play, oh, it's not going to work up the middle. I guess we'll just toss it to the outside. We're going to throw it 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage and expect the running back to do all the work. This is inept. It's brutal. I just don't understand. You got a bunch of bum quarterbacks who are backups that you don't really care about. Teach them how to do short yardage, put them in the game in the situation, push the ball ahead, get the first down, and beat the Chiefs. It can't be that hard. Trev, leave James H. Brown up. And we're not done yet. We're going to keep rolling here with That Hurts as we work our way through the rest. And this is not CFL guy picking on NFL issues. But why don't they have short yardage quarterbacks?
All gas, no brakes. Nathan Rourke can run.
I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand why in a 3rd and 1 or a 4th and 1 situation, you would snap you're a yard away from getting what you need, but you're going to snap it 5 to 6 yards back. Then in a lot of these situations, just turn and hand it to the guy standing right next to you. It's not even like in a lot of these, like you're under center and you turn around, you give it back, the running back's had 2 or 3 yards to get going. In a lot of these situations, Hamilton Tiger Cats, perfect example. The Tiger Cats were stuffed 5 times from the 1 in that game against the Argos, a game that they still won because Leggio was an absolute stud in that game.
Yep.
Nice to see his redemption story after not working in Winnipeg. Great stuff for Leggio. Anyway, in the Canadian Football League, the other guys are a yard off the ball. And you're sitting here, and what they do, they did a pitch to the outside on one of them, and then 2 in a row, Tua's younger brother is standing there, and he just took the snap in the CFL. 2nd and 1. Well, first and goal from the 1, I think 2nd and goal from the 2. And he takes it, and he just hands it off right next to him. You only need a yard. The other team is a yard away. Push it ahead. Push it ahead. Instead, it's, snap it. Here you go. They ran the same play, the exact same play, back-to-back times. Like you thought it was going to be different the second time. In fact, it was just worse. I don't understand. And then the Calgary Stampeders have Tommy Stevens. Tommy Stevens.
He was interviewed at halftime, 69 yards.
And what a nice interview.
But that was the only thing they had going.
Tommy Stevens is born to pick up a yard or 2 for you. That's it. That's his purpose. He's arguably the most effective in the entire Canadian Football League in doing it. And earlier in the same game, a game that you had to have to keep your season alive, earlier in the same game, he took off for a 69-yard touchdown run on a 2nd or 3rd and short situation. And 2 years ago, he had an 85-yard touchdown run in this situation. And for the most part, he fumbled the previous week against Montreal, and it was like Donnie not rolling a strike in the Big Lebowski. You're just like, what? This is bizarre. This guy's automatic. So the Stampeders, with their season on the line, had to have this game against the Riders if they had any hope. And Jake Merritt had been great in the second half. You keep this drive alive, I think there's a chance he possibly leads them down the field. It's 3rd and 1. Tommy Stevens is waiting like a dog in a kennel to get out on the sideline. He's like, I'm gonna take this ball for 80 yards and the game-winning touchdown. And Dave Dickinson, for some reason, doesn't put him in the game, leaves Jake Merritt in shotgun, and Jake throws an interception and your season's over. When you could have easily picked up the yard with Tommy Stevens. It makes no sense. I could not. I put the GIF up last night. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills with all the teams that are blowing it in short yardage. It doesn't make any sense. The Tommy Stevens one, on the play-by-play call, I was like, why is Tommy Stevens not in this game right now? It made no sense. He's the best at what he does. You didn't give him a chance to do it. You probably deserve to be eliminated from playoff contention. Decisions like that. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, man. It makes my blood boil. When you're a yard away from picking up why would you ever, in a million years, be like, okay, well, we only have to go this far. We only have to go this far to pick something up. But instead, we're going to go to the wall and back. It makes no sense. It's just logically incorrect.
Now, again, some argument that the players do need to execute the call.
Okay, which call needed to be executed? Why wait? Okay, sure, the players need to execute the horrible calls you're making.
Albeit, but that's their job.
Then fire the coaches because they're making bad calls. It just is.
I'm watching this mayor pass right now.
You have Dave Dickinson sitting here.
He was in the shotgun. He also dropped back about 6 yards. I mean, you're looking at you go from 3rd and 1 to about 3rd and 11.
But as a coach, you've got an automatic first down standing right next to you on the sideline. But you're going to leave Jake Mayer in to throw on 3rd and 1. Does Jake Mayer need to complete it? Sure. But why is that call being sent? Why is that play being made? I'm sorry, it starts with coaching. It starts with coaching. If the Ticats had just lined up under center 3 straight times on 3rd and 1 and pushed ahead and didn't get it, I understand, okay, the players need to execute that.
Yeah.
But when you're in a 3rd and 1 or a 2nd and 1 and you're snapping the ball into shotgun 5 yards back, that's on the players or it's on the coach making a horrible decision. I'm sorry. Short yardage this weekend was a disaster both sides of the border. You're making it way too difficult on yourself. It shouldn't be a hard process. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't even know why I care about it so much. But it drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. I don't know why the NFL can't have their other guys be short yardage quarterbacks. I don't get it. You have to save Skylar Thompson for when Tua goes down so he can go out and just suck the big one?
Maybe they don't want to. Maybe they ask, hey, can you do this? No, I'm not. CFL guys are more. They do more, right? Because it's the rugby thing. You do more.
All right, 780-218-9999.
Well, Dave's nominated you already. Nominee rant of the year. He's sending it in.
Short yardage shouldn't win any awards. It's a simple thing. You need a yard. You push ahead. As far everybody's always like, whoa, the Eagles push. I mean, well, guess what? Congratulations. You found a way to pick up a first down whenever you want. Nobody else wants to try it. That's the other thing. The whole everybody in the league watches the Eagles and the way they can pull these things off, and everybody else is just like, well, we're gonna go in a shotgun and hopefully it works. And if it doesn't work, we'll just blame the players.
Do you have time for the Wildcat? I think Dean Belanger was in. Just snap it to the running back.
This is not a Wildcat. No.
Because that's still your...
I mean, whatever. Just don't snap it 5 yards back when you only need a yard.
Yeah.
You're just analytically making it extremely more difficult to pick up the downs.
But then also dropping back another 5 after that shotgun snap.
It doesn't, I don't know. I don't get it. And that's the end of it. I don't want to talk about short yardage again for the rest of the show.
Yeah, somebody ask Herm Edwards on Friday. Maybe the coach will.
Yeah, hey, you know what? I'll try to remember that. The Calgary one hurts because Tommy Stevens is just so good at it.
That's what he does. It's his bread and butter.
That's why he's on your roster. And your season's on the line. And you still had like a minute and 30 seconds. It's not like they're like, it's going to be too difficult timing wise. Just get him out there, get the first down, and then boom, I don't know, man. It was really strange to me. It was a strange decision.
That's a shame.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's too bad.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Well, Stampeders on a bye. They'll have some time to rest on that. Think that one over.
All right, that hurts. Brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers. If you've been injured in an accident, go to jameshbrown.com and they will look after you. We need somebody to play Kind of Easy Trivia right now. If you would like to play, text us 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. I didn't even have time to look at the chat. I don't know if I'm getting ripped. I don't know if other people are getting ripped. I don't know if Short Yardage is getting ripped. I was too focused on sharing my thoughts. I didn't even have time to get the chat.
Somebody texted in the chat, Jerome Bettis. Yeah. It's different football nowadays, though, but
in that situation, does it have to be? Get a big dude, push ahead. All right, if you'd like to play Kind of Easy Trivia today for
what
Mr.
about the fullback? Bring the
Don't
fullback.
even get me started.
Reinvent the
on
fullback.
poor
end the
usage
game,
of
right?
fullbacks.
There you go. That's.
Why is the fullback even on the roster recently?
Somebody. I think Justin Valboni, Chris Zarka. He would have
picked that up.
Canuck truck.
Became a counselor, didn't he?
Was
he on
Mikowski? Yeah, he was. I think he was on a city council.
Something. Yeah, that's what I mean,
city
yeah.
council. Yeah.
All right, if you want to play Kind of Easy Trivia today, we've got a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. Feels better now. You know when you get something off your chest?
Good, yeah.
It feels really nice. If you'd like to get that gift certificate, text Trev right now, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 is where you can let us know if you'd like to play. We'll go Kind of Easy Trivia. We'll go 3 questions too many. We'll get into that's good, and we'll set up this split squad game. Danny Austin out of Calgary. Actually, we'll ask Danny's thoughts on not going to Tommy Stevens in that spot.
I'm sure he'll have
maybe
a take.
Maybe I'm completely off. Who knows? That being said, if he says I am, I'm going at him.
Well, we cut it.
I'm going at him today. Oh, sorry. Your connection's poor.
What?
Click.
Yeah.
Let's get to a sports update with Claiborne Services. If you're looking for work, Claiborne has you covered. Eric's got more on that with the update.
Oilers dropping the puck in the preseason last night. 3-2 overtime win over the Jets. That schedule continues tonight, both here and down in Calgary, with a split squad action against the Flames. Free agent Tony DeAngelo, meanwhile, he'll be continuing his playing career in Russia. The 28-year-old defenseman signing a 1-year deal with SKA St. Petersburg earlier today. Chiefs improving to 3-0 on the Sunday nighter with a 22-17 victory in Atlanta. You can join me tonight at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for a pair of Monday night games when the Bills host the Jaguars, followed by the Bengals and Commanders. Loaded burgers on special throughout the evening. Oil Kings opening the regular season over the weekend with a pair of losses on the road to the Hurricanes and Tigers. Oil Kings will host the Hitmen Saturday at 2 for their home opener. Calgary defeating Lloyd 3-2 in AJHL action. Schedule will resume Wednesday with 4 games on the docket. Jays wrapping up their road schedule over the weekend in Tampa, getting swept by the Rays. Jays are back home for a couple of 3-game series to wrap up the regular season, beginning tonight against Boston, following that up against the Marlins. Shohei Ohtani, meanwhile, hitting his 53rd homer of the season yesterday, also reaching 55 stolen bases. Dodgers take it over the Rockies 6-5. Elks look for revenge Friday from Winnipeg, kicking off Week 17 in the CFL. Edmonton dropping to 5-9 in Saturday's 27-14 loss to the Bombers. You can join the EST crew for this one at the Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Kickoff at 6. Also this morning, the Lions naming Nathan Rourke their starter for Week 17 after his benching in Week 16. Edmonton Huskies falling to the Regina Thunder 32-11 out of the JP Bowl. Wildcats drop one to the Hilltops on the road 45-19. Huskies will host the Wildcats in a Battle of Edmonton this Saturday under the lights of the JP Bowl. Kickoff at 7. Golden Bears improving to 2-2 Friday with a 30-6 victory over the Rams. Bears are in Saskatoon Friday night to battle the Huskies. Golden Bears hockey with a split against the Dinos over the weekend. Wrapping up preseason action. Puck drop in the regular season will go Friday night, October 4th against Grant Mack down at the Drake. Take your career to the next level with Claiborne Services. They are hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind, knowing they are an industry leader in safety. For more, check out www.claiborneservices.com or make it easy and call Jeff, 780-910-6728.
Here's Jackson, you are for real, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real. Changing 200. Here's Jackson, you are now the new interim head coach of the Edmonton Elks. They have a great receiving corps, but now you gotta get the defense to stop a few plays here and there so you can win a damn football game. For real, for real, for real, real. The fan base wants a win, so let's get out there and do it, do it, do it. Let's get out there and get the Elks to win the Grey Cup. Celebrate with the boys with the 6 o'clock log. For real, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real. Let's go Elks.
8:05 on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here on Edmonton Sports Talk as we kick off another day on TuneIn, on iHeart, at edmontonsportstalk.com, and of course, right here on YouTube. Make sure autoplay is on if you're watching on YouTube. That'll take you right on over from 9 to 11 with the Hangout. Myself, P. Greggy, Huss on the Lock Shop today from 11 until 12. Oil Stream from 12 until 1. The EST Hangout with Hernan Salas. Or the EST Afternoons with Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage, and then the Reed Wilkins Show from 3 to 6 this afternoon, from 6 in the morning until 6 in the evening. We've got you live on YouTube, streaming 24/7 on TuneIn, on iHeart, and at edmontonsportstalk.com. Please just text the link to your buddies, and they too can hop in on the fun.
I'd like to correct myself as well. I said Nathan Rourke was benched last week, week 16. It was week 15, and the Lions lost to the Argos.
They were on a bye last week.
I got to get that on record.
Man,
and
you got to be better.
I'll be better.
This guy's got to step his game up. We'll get to 3 questions too many. That's on the way. That's good for the Italian Center coming up as well. Danny Austin's going to join us around 8:35 today. We'll talk some Stampeders, and we will also dive into the Calgary Flames. Well, split squad action. The Edmonton Oilers unbeaten so far this season, if you can believe it.
Split a Rooney, eh?
Oh,
I'd have to dust that old gem off.
Have you ever seen a team win a game the way the Oilers won the game last night? This is a nice start. Means nothing overall in the bigger picture, but some good things for some of the individuals in the game, which we'll continue to discuss as we work our way through 3 questions too many today. Make plans to join us October 4th, South Fort Chev, Oktoberfest celebration. EST will be live. All the shows that I just mentioned earlier will be out in the fort for our first ever full day EST on location broadcast. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chevrolet. They'll beat any price you can find anywhere else, and they'll give you $1,000 credit, bonus credit on your trade-in if you tell them that we sent you. So that's always exciting. All right, kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's. YouTube, Trev, who's playing kind of easy trivia today, buddy?
Today we have Michael, and he's ready. He's going to bring it.
Is he fired up?
Oh, I can
He's
tell.
ready to
Yes,
go?
absolutely.
All right, we are playing for that gift certificate to Mr. Mike's, where for the rest of September, got to hop in and enjoy Mike Burger Madness. $8.99 for the Mike Burger. 60 years of Mr. Mike's most famous burger. 60 delicious years. Can you imagine back in, what's 60 years ago? The mid-60s? Can you imagine back in like the late 60s in your flower print, and you're going and having a classic Mike Burger?
Groovy,
My
man.
God. Yeah. This burger is so groovy.
Mike.
Yeah. Mike Burger Madness. You'd be mad to miss it. It ends September 30th. Eat locally. Enjoy casually. Michael's going to need 3 out of 5. Let's go to Michael today. Michael, are you ready to play?
I am ready to go. Groovy. Let's go, boys.
All right, here we go. Let's go. I'll start the ticker after read the first question. Good luck. Here we go. Who did the Oilers beat in overtime last night?
The Winnipeg Jets.
Who did the Elks lose to on Saturday?
They lost to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Which Elk has a twin brother on the Bombers?
Trey Ford.
Which NFL team won the Sunday Nighter?
That was the Kansas City team.
What position does Kirk Cousins play?
The Calgary Stampeders, just like, oh, darn it. Oh, I'm trying anyway.
No! My God. Damn it, Shake, stop it!
They are going to remember that AM radio is a viable and modern source for news and entertainment.
Totally.
People don't listen to AM like they used to. Seems like it's more about FM and color TV.
That's stupid.
It sure is, Kevin.
I'm stoked. You stoked?
I'm stoked.
Just so stoked. You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Cannot come to my house. No, not today.
8-10. Michael's got the dub. Michael's got us in the win column for the week. Very exciting times indeed. Lance Kane over on the Nasty Chat today says, guys, I'm forcing my coworker to listen in the company truck. Good. And by forcing, you mean allowing your coworker to enjoy the content with you in the company truck. I think that's probably a better way to look at it. If you're watching on YouTube today, let's hammer the thumbs up. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at edmontonsportstalk.com, you can text us in the Paris Jewelers inbox. 22 great locations, one awesome website, www.parisjewelers.com.
I think we got what Michael was trying to do there. Hey?
He's taking a shot at Stamps.
Yeah, whatever. It's all good. Yeah.
Classic Edmonton-Calgary rivalry. Classic Edmonton-Calgary rivalry. Man, there's a discussion to be had here at the quarterback position with the Elks. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. Let me see. Yeah, we do have a question about it with 3 questions too many today. So we'll get into that. That's good for the Italian Center coming up. Danny Austin out of Calgary is going to join us. Every time we have somebody from Calgary for the next 2 years, I'm going to say, so how's the rink going? What's the latest? What's the latest on that rink that looks like flames?
Where are we at? How far behind is it?
We'll get into, is it over budget yet? How much is the province actually contributing? Why don't they care about Commonwealth? Or McMahon?
No, that's the one.
All right, let's get into 3 questions too many today. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment?
Yes, 3 questions too many. Brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where Mitch Lewicki always thought he'd be the first, but sources this morning, Raptors to retire Vince Carter's jersey November 2nd, the first ever player to have his jersey going to the Raptors for
makes sense.
The Raps. Yeah, it does.
I think
He's
it makes
the guy.
sense.
I mean, no offense to Doug Christie.
I know it didn't end necessarily.
Stoudemire, Mighty Mouse.
No
Mighty Mouse was always my
favorite,
baby. You know,
where's Charles Oakley's number?
Well, yeah.
Kevin Willis. Did Kevin Willis play? Was he a Raptor for? Anyway, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
first Raptor to have his jersey going to the Rafters. November
Who's
2.
next?
November 2 will be the one.
Who's next? Chris Bosch. Like Kawhi can't go up. Rolled in, deliver a title, but he only played
the title.
No,
I know.
You can't retire the number of a guy who played there for that little amount
Got the
of time.
chip. Wouldn't it be funny? It'd be such a Toronto thing, the way.
He got a lucky bounce on a shot from a corner. Let's calm down. That was always fun.
That was the best. We had that time.
Trev, you got a Twitter account? Let's plug this bad boy today. I know you're at 1,000, but you know there's more out there, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, you can follow me at YouTube_Trev.
All right, give this guy a follow.
Appreciate it.
Give this guy a follow. Kyle Lowry.
Thank you.
Kyle Lowry.
That's who it's going to be. Kyle.
It would be Kyle Lowry before Bosch. Yeah. Be a little while, I think, before Lowry gets up there, but Vince Carter.
I'll stick with Stoudemire.
The Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse, man. That was a vibe.
The Mighty Mouse. All right, let's get into it. Question number 1 today. Guys, do you think Noah Philp can make the Oilers out of camp?
Well, I think he can. Will he?
Yeah, okay, that's a fair point.
And maybe something happens, injury-wise or something like that, but you've got the old heads there, right? That's the point.
Well,
and if he needs to be called upon sometime during he's there, but
the bottom 6 seems set. It would include the Henrique line, and then Ryan, Perry, Podkolzin will be involved. I think the most. I'll say. Could he? No, I'll say no. I mean, for this reason. Hasn't played in a year. The best thing for Philp is to go to the American Hockey League, do what you do best, win faceoffs, produce offense at the AHL level, and then when the time is right, when somebody gets injured or they go into a slump and they need, a younger body in the bottom 6, a bigger body in the bottom 6, right shot guy can win faceoffs, then you get called up. It would not be a good idea for this guy to be around the team to start the year. Let him play games in the American League, get back up to game speed. Looked fine last night, owned the faceoff dot, 75%. Think he drew a penalty last night.
Again, game 1.
Had a good attempt early.
Based off that alone.
We're probably getting too carried away with the questions on can he make the team. The best thing for this guy, the best thing for the organization is for him to be in the American League maybe for the whole year. But at least for a while to get back up to speed. So
Chris G says Lavoie has a better shot, and I don't think over Philp. I don't think any of us would maybe. But again,
are you talking technically his shot is better, or he has a better shot at making the team?
Didn't read it like that, I guess. But
shot is better. I also don't really think there's
the position.
Who's how are you making the team?
Yeah,
that's what I'm curious. How are you making the team?
You could argue Philp has maybe a little.
They gave Corey Perry
crack to get in
probably more money than they should have. He's on the team. Derek Ryan's going to be on the team. We know who's going to start this season as the top 12 forwards. There's really not a forward job here that is there to be won.
No.
Nor is there many guys who are actually there to take it anyway. So, question number 2. Guys, does the Elks quarterback decision come down to who gives them the better chance to beat the Bombers this week?
You know what's funny? We talked about naming Trey Ford the starter, right? Coming off that the bye, and we knew he was the starter for a long, long time, and so did Mike O'Shea and the Bombers. And we had a bit of a talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. It was an interesting discussion.
And look at what happened. So, I mean, I don't think you credit maybe all of that to that, but we've seen what he does against this Bombers defense. So, again, I don't like calling them controversies when I think both guys are highly competitive. They seem to be getting along. Like, there's no fighting. There's no split down the locker room to say that there's this one side's got Trey Ford, the other's got MBT.
But what were the results from Reed's poll again?
Bring that up a poll.
Because to me, a quarterback controversy really only exists like in the fans. It's a any sort of controversy is very fan driven.
But again, I think these two guys provide two different sets of weaponry, and you take one out as it suggests to the opposing defense or whoever shows up good. And you've seen what Ford did. Ford finished. Reed Wilkins had a poll over the weekend. Too soon to ask. Who would you start Friday in Winnipeg? Ford, MBT are your options. Ford finished 57.7, MBT 42.3.
The handling of these guys is very interesting because you start Ford. When they take him out, it was 17-10.
Yeah, I think so.
Was it 17-10 when they took him out, or was it 20? Was it 17-10 or was it 2010? Anyway, I would have liked to have seen how he responded in that situation. You know, you already decided to ride with him anyway. Wouldn't have minded seeing how he responded in the last 9 minutes. I remember MBT came into the game with like 9:20 left and was a quick 2-and-out. And then the Bombers got the ball back, drove the field, and basically sealed the game away. I would have been very interested to see how Trey Ford handled that final 9 minutes. Even though I understand why they pulled him, he had not played well prior to that. I am here for the discussion this week. And as you said, interesting timing for the president of the Trey Ford fan club, Matthew Iwanek, to take 4 days off. He's off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think there's a case to be made that MBT might be better suited to beat the Bombers than Trey Ford is at this stage of his career. And then I think you make the case that Trey Ford might be better suited to beat the Riders defense than MBT is. You know what I mean?
Like, you got two good options.
Two options.
It's not like they're the two of the same guys and you're just kind of going out based on talent or whoever is kind of hot of hand. But yeah, you have two different automobiles in your garage. One for all terrain, one for the
100%.
So, you know, you're not going to take the sports car out on the dirt road, and you're vice versa with the truck on the freeway if you don't have to. But I think we saw, and again, maybe that goes back to announcing it so early. I mean, that Bombers defense, good in its own right. We get that. But they made him look pretty human yesterday, which we've always said too. Trey Ford has got that video game-esque to it.
But he didn't unleash the video game-esque.
No, because the Bombers knew they handled it quite well.
But I still think they could have ran some quarterback-designed runs.
Perhaps
they really didn't.
This goes back to your thing with coaching. Again,
I felt like they didn't fully utilize Trey Ford's ability to run the ball.
Well, again, and Zach Clare was out rushing him. And I know he had the big one. He ripped off the big one. But
Tango says, guys, I would just be picking a guy and sticking with him. And that's why the whole conversation is fascinating to me, because Jarius Jackson, after that last game 2 weeks ago, said Trey Ford's the guy. But he was non-committal after this last game. Like, I was wondering, I talked with Rashog after on the field. I said, hey, did he say Trey's starting? Next week, he said, no, he wouldn't go there. So
when it was announced 2 weeks prior,
that's why he could have very easily just squashed his entire conversation
Sticking with a guy
by after the last game going, and Trey Ford's going to start. But he didn't. And if they start MBT on Friday, I don't think I'd be overly negative about the decision.
You just go with a hot hand. And if he's struggling, you know, Trey Ford can come off the bench and provide something totally different. You got options.
What do you think? 780-218-9999. The question is simple. Who do you start this week? Would you start Trey Ford? And would you start MBT? And at this stage, if as an organization you want to be all in on Trey Ford moving forward, then I understand that you just go back to him and you see how it goes. But MBT in his last 4 games was 3-1, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception,
and lost some games early on by walk-off field goals. Yeah, like he was putting up. He's always been putting up some decent numbers. Maybe an odd pick here or there, situation-wise, early on in the season too. But
Lucas is in and says, "Why would Trey Ford want to stay if they start MBT?" Signed, Matthew Awanek.
We got the receipts, eh?
It's tough to be the people that Matty has trapped in his spare bedroom this week after Trey Ford struggles. That's just going to be a tough week, 4 days off with your prisoners.
You'll be slicing off that chicken.
No chicken. He's probably watching right now. Slicing off chicken, be like, when I get back on Friday.
Oh, there will be hell to pay.
Anyway, Friday, Bombers, Elks.
Huge.
Rematch. Huge game Friday. Century Casino. We are going to have the Reed Wilkins show there from 3 to 5. Then the pregame show from 5 to 6. As many of our staff who can make it are going to be out. We're going to watch the Tammy's not overly pleased with this. So I tell her, I'm like, hey, next weekend, I'm not calling any games.
Yeah, you led with that, did you?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not calling any games. I'm off next weekend. And she's like, that's great. I said, however, on Friday, I'm going to casino for an EST Elks Bombers watch party.
So you just said you had a meeting or something.
I should have said, yeah, but I got a big meeting.
Big meeting.
That being said, I got nothing to do Friday, Saturday, so we're going to have some fun times with the kids. But anyway, EST watch party game. Friday night.
Yeah.
It should be good.
Trader Mark says that was the worst Trey Ford type game plan I've ever seen. No excitement, no moving, made him pass when he's not the passing QB. And
it didn't make any sense. And even on like the RPO, the run pass option, he was never pulling it and running it.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because, and Suits broke this down in the broadcast, the Bombers had like 3 guys really wide on the line. But Trey's fast enough to get around pretty much anybody. So what happened early in the second half, when they got the offense going a little bit, is on the RPO, he'd pull it and pass it quickly. And they got a couple of plays like that. But it's weird to run that and never really keep it when you're the most dangerous, physically capable offensive weapon in the league, essentially. So it was strange to me. It was a weird Trey Ford outing from both his perspective and the way he was coached.
Rip City Step breaks it down. I think you would agree with this as well, given your rant this morning. First down quarterback Trey Ford, second down quarterback MBT. You know where this is going. Third down quarterback Dakota Prukop.
Well, you got to use Prukop. Because mind you, it led to the closest measurement I've ever seen in my entire life in that football game.
Well, tie goes to the runner, eh?
God, I love a good quarterback controversy discussion this week. Hampton Steve is in. Guys, if the Elks see Ford as the quarterback of the future,
here's the
and think they have a good chance of resigning him, then I'd start Ford. Have to let him learn and rebound from tough games like Saturday.
Hell of a point.
Fair point as well.
Hell of a point if you're looking at the big picture here.
It's true.
Like, Chris Jones needed MBT to win now for himself. But that's why that was all brought in and everything. But now if you want to look at the future and you say, well, to nuts with this season because you've already started out, like,
But you're not out of it yet.
You're not out of it yet. But again, Jarius Jackson, everybody, like, I think he's shown quite well. Though we'll see what happens at the end of the season. But it is funny that Chris Jones needed to win yesterday, brings in a guy that he thought would do that in MBT. But if you want Ford for the long term, now maybe that decision making kind of plays a part.
I understand it.
Yeah,
it's a quarterback controversy with a veteran who's played better as of late, but the future that you hope is the future or you expect to be the future. The problem is if you start Trey, like they're still in it. They're not far out of the playoff spot.
Yeah, well.
If you start Trey Ford this week and the same script happens again against the Bombers, then you're sitting there going, okay, well, the guy who's supposed to be the future has dropped 2 games. Well, the other guy was 3-1 in his last 4, and it kind of got you back into the mix. So I would not want to make this decision. I think they probably go to Trey on a short leash. That's probably what we see.
Meeting in the middle here.
And that might be the meet in the middle.
With Prukop watching on.
Question number 3, guys. Who's the NFL MVP 3 weeks in? Sam Darnold.
Andy Dalton.
Jeez.
Wow, come on. What a turnaround. 36 points. You kidding me? With 3 touchdowns? He's on pace.
Yeah.
No.
Sammy Darts might be the guy.
Yeah, no, that's probably the answer here.
He's
it's not
done
sexy.
more than Patrick Mahomes has done.
We called him the Bo Levi Mitchell
crazy.
of the NFL earlier today, and that's kind of where you're looking, right?
It's not really the answer. Well, I think it's the answer right now.
Maybe to Mike Tenier, Taysom Hill, though, with his omission from the Saints, high octane offense. No.
Amos Moses says, guys, maybe Jackson saying nothing is the answer right now. He said Ford was the guy a few weeks ago. No one is a hot hand right now, so I'd go with Ford until it falters. It's true, but MVT was kind of a hot hand. They won 3 of the last 4. You know,
he hasn't been bad this season.
Third in the league in passing yards going into the week.
3 walk-off
third in the league in
losses.
touchdowns.
He's putting up points and stats. And
Zulu says Steelers defense would be the MVP.
yeah,
3 weeks
usually you
in.
can always have that near the top, eh?
3 questions too many for Park Mazda. I do want to get to that's good for the Italian Center Shop. Danny Austin, Post Media, is going to join us around 8:35 out of Calgary. That's good for the Italian Center Shop. We're going to stick with the Canadian Football League here, which I love to see. The more CFL we can put in, the better. In my
really
opinion.
fun week, actually, results-wise, especially
really
that
was.
Friday slate,
Yeah.
eh?
Italian Center Shop, that's good. Massimo's Heat and Serve meals made in-house using their favorite products from the store shelves. They're like, oh, somebody's got to make Massimo meals. Oh, you go around the shelf, and you're like, oh, some tomatoes. Everything's made right there. It's perfect. So you don't have to spend all day in the kitchen. They do the hard work for you so you can focus on getting back into the groove. School, sports, everything else. I'm telling you, pop in there beginning week. You get 2-3 meals for your family right there, sitting there waiting for you. I think we got a lasagna sitting in the fridge right now.
And Tam will be having one Friday night.
Well, I'm at the casino.
Well, that's the play. That's the play.
What are you going to do? It's work. Try some favorites. Lasagna, ravioli with the creamy pesto sauce, rigatoni, spaghetti and meatballs, many more. Get the spaghetti meatballs and eat them with just your hands to really send a message how tough you are at work. That's what I want to see you do. I want you to go in, get a spaghetti and meatballs, take it to the office, heat it up, sit there in the lunchroom, and just eat it with your hands.
Eat like an apple.
Like a savage. Here's that's good from the weekend. Couple of things. Brady Oliveira, 127 yards, his first 2 rushing touchdowns of the year.
You
Killed me in fantasy.
Say it with the wins, yeah.
Brady might as well have just come up to the booth and kicked me in the nuts. Killed me in fantasy this week. But his first 2 touchdowns of the year, his 3rd consecutive 1,000-yard season, joining an elite group of other Canadian running backs to do it. Cornish, Harris, Normie Kwan. And he's going to move up that list.
Oh, he should be.
He could very well get 1,000
Time is
again
on his
next
side
year.
here, yeah.
Justin Rankin of the Edmonton Elks. This guy's a stud.
Well, and
Holy
again,
smokes.
no Javon Leak as well this week, which I think adds another spice and punch to that Elks offense, but Rankin showing up as well.
Rankin had 157 yards on 14 carries and was by far the biggest bright spot of the offense for the Elks. He's got 2 100-yard games this year. They got like this 3-headed monster at running back. It's phenomenal. And then Rock Armstead, 207 yards rushing, 4 days after being signed by the Riders. He gets released by Ottawa. Apparently, there's some off-field baggage that the Red Blacks were done dealing with.
It's your Pod Colton redemption story all over again. Aside from the baggage.
I mean, it's a great redemption story, but apparently nobody in Ottawa wanted him around anymore. And if he's one of those guys that like wears out his welcome, this is perfect for the Riders.
It's a mercenary.
Because yes, exactly. You could use this guy the rest of the year for the Riders, win a bloody Grey Cup, and then just let him walk in the offseason if he started to rub people the wrong way.
8.3 average. They could not stop him. And you were calling the game. You could tell every time he got the rock that he's getting at least 5.
It was unbelievable.
And against an O-line that's had its share of injuries. I mean, it's kind of a patchwork. I know they played together somewhat here over the last little while, but
no, his burst, his first 3 or 4 steps, phenomenal. It's just like he gets the ball and it's like boom, 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 gone.
And he go between the tackles. It's a mix between Hickson and Lt in a way. He's got the best of both worlds there.
Yeah, kind of. That's true. So they're in a good... Anyway, 207 yards, 4 days after signing a contract with your new team. That's a crazy story. And just to add to it, who do the Riders play this week? The very Red Blacks who dropped him earlier this month.
CFL, you've done it again.
CFL schedule makers, we've been saying it for years. They're geniuses.
Yep. Saturday, 1 o'clock Mountain.
Man. And I didn't tell Tam this yet, but I'm going to watch that game with Eric and his brother, and I'll be unavailable on Saturday too. Just kidding.
Italian Center Shop.
We're thinking of going to a show on Saturday.
What do you mean, like a
you go
Mayfield Dinner Theater?
Yeah, something like that. What's the one at the mall?
Oh yeah, upstairs.
Yeah,
where they're in character.
Yeah, there's like a Minions show.
Stuff's wild.
Yeah, we went and saw a Super Mario show. It was terrific.
It's like Disney World in your own backyard.
It really is.
Good slate. Hamilton out in BC Friday after the Elks in Winnipeg. As you mentioned, the Riders hosting Ottawa, and then Toronto at home to Montreal.
That'd be a good one too.
Well, Toronto need to hold off the tie, depending what happens with the Ticats Friday night in BC, which we saw what the Argonauts did flying cross country to the Lions 2 weeks ago.
Raider Jesse is in and says, Andy Dalton looked as good as any quarterback I've seen dismantling the Raiders lately. And I've seen a lot of quarterbacks dismantle the Raiders. And a Dolphins fan texts in today and says, is Joe Flacco available? That's where the Dolphins are at right now.
Give him a call.
All right, lots of good text. PT Mark is in and says, MBT is the answer if you're looking to be winning and maybe have a chance this year. Trey Ford is the answer if you want the Ford brothers here in the future. It is what it is. Love the discussion, though.
Jubilations.
That's
Raider Jesse.
It's a jubilations with your family, and it'll be a good time on a Saturday.
Another round of waters, please. Yeah. They're all in character. This is great stuff. I love it. Yeah,
it was weird because the Minions don't talk. I don't know what's going to happen in the show.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. All right, that's good for the Italian
Center.
My
God, Rob, Dustin, there's a Friends/Ace Ventura show at Jubilations also.
All righty then. I'm in.
They got the rhino and everything, you know?
Like a Friends/Ace Ventura?
At the same time?
Please tell me Ace is one of the Friends. Or is there two separate shows? You have to let me know. All right, Danny Austin's going to join us. Post media. We'll get his thoughts on the Calgary Flames, on Tommy Stevens not getting the ball in the 3rd and 1. We'll get into that.
Arena.
We'll check in on the arena, obviously, as well.
Check-in.
And the wrap for William Huff, still to come as well. Hangout from 9 to 11, right here on Edmonton Sports Talk today. Right now, let's get to an update. Hey, how about the boys that sit and sleep on Friday afternoon? That looked great. Awanik was just chilling on the sectional in behind them.
He loves it.
It looked so comfy. It looked really nice. That sectional looked really good, actually. If you're looking for something to sit and or sleep on, Sit and Sleep is now open. Eric's got more details on that coming up with an update.
Oilers preseason continues tonight following last night's 3-2 overtime victory over the Jets. The Oilers will split the squad and visit/host the Calgary Flames tonight. Free agent Tony DeAngelo, he's signing on with SKA St. Petersburg of Russia. The 28-year-old defenseman going unsigned in North America during the summer. Chiefs 3-0 following last night's 22-17 victory over the Falcons. You can join me tonight for a pair to conclude Week 3 at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Bills and Jaguars at 5:30. Bengals and Commanders shortly after 6. Loaded burgers on special throughout the evening. Back over to hockey. The Oil Kings opening the regular season over the weekend. A pair of losses on the road to Lethbridge and Medicine Hat. They're back in action Saturday at 2 for their home opener against the Hitmen. Just one game in the AJ. Calgary defeating Lloyd 3-2. Action resumes Wednesday with 4 games on the schedule. Jays wrapping up their road schedule in Tampa over the weekend, getting swept by the Rays. They're back home for a couple of 3-game series beginning tonight against the Red Sox and concluding the season with a 3-game set with the Marlins. Shohei Ohtani, meanwhile, hitting his 53rd dinger last night. Also reaching 55 stolen bases in the Dodgers' 6-5 win over the Rockies. Elks, they'll look for revenge Friday from Winnipeg. Season on the line, kicking off Week 17 in the CFL. Edmonton dropping to 5-9 on Saturday, losing to the Bombers 27-14. You can join the EST crew for this one. Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge kickoff at 6. The Green and Gold kickoff show with Maddie and Milne will get going at 5. Edmonton Huskies falling to the Regina Thunder 32-11 out at the JP Bowl, while the Wildcats drop one on the road in Saskatoon 45-19. Battle of Edmonton, that goes this Saturday under the lights at 7 from the JP Bowl when the Huskies host the Wildcats. Golden Bears improving to 2-2 Friday with a 30-6 win over the Rams. Bears are in Saskatoon Friday to take on the Huskies. Golden Bears hockey with a split against the Dinos over the weekend. To wrap up preseason play, puck drop in the regular season will go Friday night, October 4th against Grant Mack down at the Drake. The wait is over. Sit and Sleep is now open. Celebrate with 20,000 square feet of savings on the trendiest furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Apply for your Sit and Sleep card today to make no payment for 18 months interest-free and be entered to win your purchase up to $5,000 on furniture and home decor. Next to Planet Fitness, South Edmonton Common.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Nine degrees in Edmonton at 8:36. Looking for a high of about 19 for today. 26 on Tuesday and 28 on Wednesday. Just two remarkable days. And then it cools down again, back down to like the high teens for about a week and a bit. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. I'll get to a few more of your text messages coming up as well. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. So what do we have to discuss? We're gonna get to the Calgary Flames.
Yes.
We're gonna get into the Flames, obviously.
Twice, because it's a split.
Because say
the same question.
We're gonna break down both sides of the split squad games.
Yeah.
They're playing here and there. This is crazy stuff. And then we'll get into we're going to start with the Calgary Stampeders. Well, we're going to start with the rink.
Yes.
We said, anytime we have anybody from Calgary on over the next little while, we're going to start with the rink. Just to get the progress, the update on it. Danny Austin, Post Media, joins us on the show this morning. Danny, appreciate the time, buddy. How you doing?
Good, guys. How are you guys? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we're doing fine, man. How's the rink? How's it coming?
It's a big hole. It continues to be a really big hole that sort of disrupts my drive to the Saddledome every day. And I'm terrified of how long it's going to take me to get in and out tonight when there's actually a crowd there. But I suppose that I should do the Calgary media thing. It's going great, guys. Really, it looks like as far as holes go, it's like it's a great hole in the ground, and we're all excited by how it continues to get slightly bigger, I guess. Yeah.
Now you can just say it's ahead of Ottawa's rink, right? It's ahead of Ottawa's rink.
It is ahead of Ottawa's rink.
Yeah. The race is on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to ask about the construction for the last 3 years, it's been focused on our public transit system that's now been canceled. That's a different story. But the rink seems to be day by day. As far as these things go, I think that's how buildings go. Yeah, I'm excited for it in however many years.
This is going to sound so bad because when I was leaving Saturday morning after doing the game Friday night, I still downtown Calgary doesn't seem that difficult to get around, but with the one ways and stuff, I still haven't figured it out. Like I'm trying to leave and there was construction on 1/5, 105, so I had to turn and back down around the west and then up. It drove me nuts. I can't take it.
Yeah, it took me years when I moved here. Like I grew up in Toronto where in Toronto, you just accept that you're not getting anywhere ever. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be awful traffic and that's it. But in Calgary, once you figure it out, yeah, it's quite functional. But you're not wrong. I can't pretend that I still get lost. I've lived here for 14 years. I know exactly where I'm going.
I drive down there about 9 times a year and I still can't figure it out. So
yeah, around the Saddledome right now, honestly, I'm dreading tonight because, if you find downtown confusing, the Stampede grounds right now are worse. But hopefully it results in a very nice arena with flames on the outside.
Yeah, there you go. There's some type of flame. Yeah. Depending on how you look at it and if your eyes are focused. I think that's probably how it works.
Squint.
And as someone, I will just note that as someone who has covered a football stadium that could also be described as a hole in the ground at this point.
That was the follow-up.
You said it, not us.
I said it.
Yeah. God, calling games of McMahon is tough. You're so high up.
Speaking of
it just
holes,
drives me nuts.
yeah.
It's tough. Okay, so let's start with the Stampeders, because I had and this was not just directed to Dave Dickinson and his weird usage of Tommy Stevens late in that game, but it was like short yardage play calling in both leagues all weekend long. Am I wrong to be like, why was Tommy Stevens not out there on a 3rd and 1? Pick it up quickly, get your offense back out there, or can you justify what they did there? It blew my mind.
Oh, I can't justify it at all. And like, this stuff's a little bit hard for me because Dave Dickinson has been so good to me over the years. Like, since I started covering the Stampeders, he's a great dude and has been head coach. But like, if you, I mean, this is very specific, but the West semifinal in 2022, same thing happened. They all year they'd been great with Tommy Stevens on 3rd and short, and then they decided to get fancy and had 2 turnovers on downs, and that game got out of hand. I sometimes think when you have a weapon that effective, just use it. So I don't know what the Stamps were thinking. And like Tommy Stevens is automatic. You get the yard. Yeah. So it just feels like it feels like, why complicate things ever? And sometimes we outthink ourselves a little bit. You know, we're all human. I'm not trying to call Dave a bad guy or anything like that, but I do think, like, you know, that was a bad play call. He admitted as much post game.
Danny also tweeted out poetically, though, Jameer Thurman. Like, of all people, right? To kind of
Now, I am of the belief that the decision to allow Jameer Thurman to not sign, like to not find the money to sign him, is like a real turning point in this franchise's history. Not franchise's history, but in like its recent history. Like I think I always tell the story. Like, Bo had been benched, but you know, his last game at McMahon Stadium, you know, which I've been doing that story for weeks. But finally, we had the whole media scrum, and Bo came out and did his humble Bo thing that day, and just, you know, tried to make it with the team and all that. And Jameer Thurman just walked out and he interrupted the scrum and gave this beautiful thing about, like, Bo, you're always going to be my QB1. Like, he was like a leader in that sense. Like, he understood the emotion and what mattered and the tradition. And I think that, like, you can't put a price point on that. So, you know, they ultimately made the decision to bring in James Vaughters at defensive end, who has not been great. He got hurt last year. But I get that James Vaughters was supposed to be amazing. But, like, Jameer Thurman is one of the elite guys in this league, in my opinion, when he's healthy. I think he's playing hurt right now. And he should have always been here. He should have ended his career here. That Jameer Thurman and Alex Singleton combo in the late 2010s was absolutely incredible, and he came back from the NFL and picked up, was a leader. So yeah, I couldn't help but feel good. I mean, I know what it means for Jameer to get that interception to finish it off, so it is poetic. And I am of the belief that, like, this Stampeders organization is going to need to do some soul searching this offseason, because we'll get to it. But, like, this is not a one-year blip. This has been a gradual decline that's gotten them here. And so why can other teams seem to afford to pay the Stampeders veterans, but the Stampeders never have any cap space? Like, I don't get it. Like, those guys get jobs. They go elsewhere. You know, a guy like Derek Wigan, as I watch, you know, the Stamps can't stop the run. Derek Wigan is a Canadian defensive tackle who you did all the work developing, has been with you for years. That should be a priority to re-sign. Like, financially, you should find the money. He should not be playing in Montreal right now. So, you know, there's just so many things where I think that they've done all the work developing these guys, and then they let them go be stars in other markets. I don't get it.
Danny Austin with us on the Nielsen Show this morning. Man, we could sit here and talk CFL with you for about an hour. Well, we got to move along. Let's flip over split squad here. Edmonton and Calgary are obviously at 2 different spots right now. In Edmonton, there's not a ton of intrigue on, like, who's going to make the roster. Kind of know where it's at. What are the 1 or 2 big storylines around the Flames right now as they work their way through the preseason?
I mean, there's a focus on net. They obviously traded Jacob Markstrom back in June, and that was because they thought, you know, that you've got to create. Well, no, it's because Jacob Markstrom wanted out as well. Yeah. But you know, they wanted to create more space for Dustin Wolf to develop, and I do think he looked great last night against Seattle, and he's stayed in Calgary this summer. Dan Vladar, I still suspect, will get sort of the bulk of starts. It won't be 50-50, but it'll be, 60-40 type of thing. So we're watching that. I'll be honest with you. Like, it's interesting. You can pretty much piece together what the Flames starting lineup is going to be on night one. Like, there's not, they signed Anthony Mantha. They signed Ryan Lomberg. Like, there's not a ton of, things can go crazy during a training camp, but like, there's not a ton of spots open, weirdly, at least on day one. So I think that a lot of us are watching like a guy like Matthew Coronado or a guy like Jacob Pelletier, these young guys who a year ago it felt like they were going to be in the lineup coming out of training camp. And right now there's not an obvious spot for them, which is weird because this is a young team and they're not going to be very good. Like, probably expectations are lower now than they were a year ago after everyone they traded away, but they're still not like those guys. They can have a really good camp and work their way into the roster. But right now, the lineup seems kind of set.
Well, it's interesting because, you look at the lineup and you said it, they're probably going to be worse than they were last year. They're not going to be very good. But you look at the forward group and I'm looking at them going like, that's not a bad, like, it's not the San Jose Sharks. It hasn't been completely stripped down. So how bad are you guys expecting them to be? Like 80 points type of thing?
3 weeks ago, I was like, they're going to be bottom three.
Okay.
I don't think they are, like, for the reason that you said. Now, the question is, if Andrei Kuzmenko comes out and scores 20 goals in the first 25 games, he's on the last year of his contract. He's not really a guy you need to have around for a rebuild. So are you flipping him right away and getting worse again? Like, that could all be happening. But, like, I'm always like, if you're not going to be good, at least be fun. And I kind of think these Flames might be fun. Like, I think, like, I don't know. I'm of the belief that the most important thing for this team is getting a number one center in the draft. So they actually, like, the best thing would be for them to be really, really bad. But you look at it, I'm like, hey, if Kadri is as good as he was last year, if guys like Zeri and Pospisil take a step forward, I mean, you know what you're getting from Jonathan Huberdeau, and it's not much. But there's potential. I mean, they're not going to be fighting for a playoff spot. I'm not in any way suggesting that, but like, no, they are not going to be an absolute disaster. They brought in guys like Jake Bean, who, maybe haven't quite lived up to their first round draft pick expectation, but they're still proven NHL players. So, I don't think they're going to be as bad as we thought they were going to be. But they are going to be.
Kind of frisky, hey? Maybe frisky?
Yeah, those frisky Flames come like March. Oh, they're going to ruin it for somebody, right? Like, that's okay. That's an okay brand to have. Like,
Well, and I mean, again, the only thing is, like, this team doesn't, like, there's not a guy in the system who's coming up to be a number one center. Yeah. They need to get that guy you need to get that guy in the draft, flat out. So, I think that there are two guys. I think Anthony Mantha, if he's good, he's only on a 1-year deal, so you're probably trading him at the deadline if he's any good this year. And then, Andrei Kuzmenko, you just have to trade it to the deadline. So it's possible that, like, if they're not awful, they're going to have to make moves that make them worse. But, like, it's almost frustrating. Like, I understand why the organization doesn't want to do this, and I'm not even, like, saying that they're in the wrong, but, like, there's a part of me that's just like, go get your guy. Like, don't be the San Jose Sharks, but be almost as bad as the San Jose Sharks, Like, so
get a top 3 pick, get a center, and then move on from there.
Yeah. That's exactly. And you've done, because you've had picks, like, their defense, man. Like, I was watching them last night in Seattle, and, like, they've got some real young talent there. So they're not, like, they're probably a year away. If you get that center, you're starting to actually build to be better in a year. Like, that's not a bad place to be in. They're not going to be perpetually stuck in the bottom 5. They've already got nice pieces to start bringing it in. So, I went into camp being like, this is going to be awful. And then I just looked and, I'm like, I'll just say, like, as a reporter, I'm looking forward to it. Like, I think it's going to be, there's some fun guys on the team, like Ryan Lomberg. You guys are going to hate him in Edmonton. That's part of the thing. It's like, can they put together enough of a roster that everyone in Edmonton hates them? And I think they can.
Mission accomplished. I'll take it. Danny, we appreciate the time, man. Thanks a lot.
You bet. Cheers, guys.
There you go. That's Danny Austin. Does a great job covering the Flames. I still think he's one of the best covering the Canadian
all the
Football
holes,
League
too.
as well. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, it was.
Well, yeah. And apparently, I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a disaster driving to.
And that's preseason. Wait till the
to
regular
the dome
season.
for
Wait till the regular
oh
season.
yeah. Oh, well, it's only going to be 5-6 years, and it should be okay. Is that the birthday boy?
Happy birthday!
Look at you wearing
to you.
birthday red flannel. I love it. It's got that vibe today. Get in here, birthday boy. Look at that birthday boy, Tommy Gazzola. That birthday boy. Good to see you, buddy.
The Drayton Valley tuxedo.
What are you, 36? 39? Holy smokes, you still look terrific. You still look terrific. And the good news is next year you'll be a man.
We'll play the clip.
Right? We'll get to play the clip next year. That's terrific. What's that?
Oh, a big
you had a huge beard going? Beard. Trev, did you see his big beard at the football game?
Couldn't miss it.
Well played, Trev.
Yeah,
well played. Good conversation. Danny's a beauty. I know some people are like, can you tell him that his hat's on sideways?
Well, clearly he knows. I mean, that's the style, baby. That's what
when
we
you
do.
see Danny Austin, that's me playing poker tomorrow night online. I've already been thinking about my poker luck for the Lock Shop Poker Series. We'll get into it a little bit with Huss later today on the Lock Shop. But tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Lock Shop Poker Series, event number 2. Download the poker software at CoolBet. Just go tournaments, search tournaments, Lock Shop. You can register. It's $30 buy-in. We had a great turnout last time. It was a lot of fun. But this time, my plan right now, I'm hoping it works, fingers crossed, is to stream my table while I play poker. And I'm thinking I'm going to go backwards hat, sunglasses, and then a bag of Oreos.
Yeah.
In honor of Teddy KGB.
Yeah.
And that's it. I was just going to sit there. And
I'm
not going to be Terran Parlay Cam. I'm going to have a glass of milk. I'm just going to be dipping. I'm going to be known as the Oreo dipper in the poker world.
Can you also get like really small sunglasses just to kind of throw people off?
Usually I have sunglasses that go over top of
small,
these,
yeah,
but maybe I'll get little ones that
just
clip over the top. Sitting in my basement.
Bob McCown.
Yeah. That'd be good. Lars is in and says, happy birthday, Tommy. May you never grow old and look 13 forever. Box Pounder says Tommy still looks 29.
Yeah.
So, No, Tommy looks 39. Jeez. Did not know that. That's going to be a blowout for the 40th. Eh? That'd be a lot of fun. That'd be a real nice time.
Murray, get that suite ready.
Oh, get the suite ready, Murray. All right, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, and our place looks sensational, you're going to get it done with Bruce and the team at William Huff. Check them out, www.williamhuff.com. They've been doing this since 1952, which is a little bit longer than the Mike Burger has existed at Mr. Mike's.
Older than Tommy.
So you know they're really good at it. And they are older than Tommy. That's correct.
Proven with that math, we can.
We have confirmed that William Huff is older than Tom Gazzola. All right, what did we learn on the show today?
EST historian surveyor Brett getting into my DMs today. Almost forgot. He goes, Sunday was 1 year anniversary of the Latte Show. Look, how has a year been removed from having your first basically caffeinated experience?
Well, boys, what was I on the lattes for like 2 weeks?
It was an A&W one. We brought it in right here. How did that go? Maddie was mad that we just didn't give you a black coffee. Like
you got to try coffee.
And then go for
Let me have a latte. I'm not having a black coffee. It's never going to happen.
You fell in love, though.
YouTube, Trev, were you with us already then? Were you already with us?
I remember that morning I came in, I wasn't producing quite
You
then
weren't
yet,
producing
but I was
just yet.
flying.
I remember the stories. I was like, what? This guy's never had a coffee before?
Yeah, who's this weirdo you
This is
thought
the craziest
to yourself?
thing.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't mind it for a couple of days. Well, I can't remember why I got off of it, though. I just went back
got
to
on
the
a
teas.
kick for a bit, though. You were getting them
I was
in
having
here.
the latte for 2 good weeks.
Is it the old ticker where you did you go to the doctor's office and said, sir, you're the blood pressure or something?
Is coffee bad for blood pressure?
I don't know. Maybe it's good
My
for
blood
it.
pressure already isn't great.
I'm just thinking. He also sent in a Kramer gift when he has the cafe lattes and he's zooming around everywhere. So maybe that was the case.
Maybe that is.
I don't know, you need to.
Maybe that is true. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. I remember those
Happy
good
anniversary.
times.
Yeah.
Remember those good times. Thanks, Surveyor Brett. That's why you are the EST historian. All right, let's get to your sound of the day today. Edmonton Oilers winning preseason action.
Yeah.
Last night, everybody's fired up. But I got to point out that Jesse Puljujarvi had a hat trick over the weekend.
I love Jesse. He's always having fun.
Jesse was picked fourth. Yeah, we didn't think he'd be there at the time. Now we've watched him play, we know he'll be just fine. Jesse's got himself some skills, should be on McDavid's line. And Aikens would have loved his eyes, and McClellan loves that body, you just know it. And now he's holding both his arms way, way up high. No doubt about it, that was Jesse's goal. Nobody but Jesse's goal. How did he learn to finish like that? Let's start planning the parade. The Oilers finally decided to make some change. You know I feel so dirty when he starts playing cute. We complain about the Hall trade, but the point is probably moot. And Aikens would have loved his eyes, and McClellan loves that body, you just know it. And now he's holding both his arms way, way up high. No doubt about it, that was Jesse's goal. Nobody but Jesse's goal.
And had to do it. Had to do it today.
Of course.
Hey,
hat trick.
The hat trick.
The
in
only
preseason
offense that they
game.
had, yeah.
Do you realize what would have happened if that happened here in Edmonton?
Oh, and if he didn't score those 3 goals, they would have got shut out 7.
I would have ended up fist fighting Jim Matheson. That's what would have happened. All right, let's get to your text of the day today for A and W. I had one written down a little bit earlier. Let's see. Yeah, I think this will be the.
Was it Clausen?
No. Oh, Clausen's was good too.
There's a third ever text.
Oh, I'm torn here.
He's been coming hard after some prizing, and you are going by the old place today.
Bring up Clausen's.
Okay.
Well, do we have his? He's just in there as his number, probably. It might be tough to find Clausen.
No, I
is he
put
added him? Okay.
Okay,
so we'll have that one, and I got another one. We'll, Trev, you're deciding text of the day today. He's bringing one to the table. I'm bringing one to the table. You're going to determine it.
I don't like this.
Text of the day today is for A and W. No pressure, Trev, but somebody will or won't be able to try the Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger because of you. It's a teen burger with Ruffles, cheddar, and sour cream chips combined into one unique taste sensation. It is delicious. One of a kind, ridges and crunch, all in that teen burger glory. You can also get the Ruffles Crunch Buddy Burger for just $4.99. Try one today. All right. What was Klaus's text?
Clausen chimes in 7:07 this morning. Look at that forecast. Autumn, more like hautumn.
Oh, that's good. That was good. The other one that I had shortlisted was from Rob at 7:04 this morning. It says, since it's Tommy's birthday today, does he get to lead the Oilers stretch at practice? That was a good one as well. I mean, Klaus is really, go ahead, Trev, your call.
No, I don't like this. They're both unbelievable texts. I want to say that. I want to clarify. They're very
Make
good.
a choice, Trev.
With the,
But Clausen didn't side with me during the Wingate.
Whoa.
So I'm sorry. It's not going to you today, Klaus. I'm sorry.
I love you holding a grudge and robbing Clausen of his first ever text of the day.
So, okay,
Trev,
well, don't put it like that.
You're a savage. You're a savage.
Okay, well,
cold-blooded killer.
You don't tee it up like that. I had no idea this was. This would have been his first one ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow.
That hurts.
All right.
Too bad.
Well, congratulations, Rob. Rob's got text of the day. Throw it in the mix for text of the year. There we go. Rob, congratulations, buddy. You're getting that A&W gift certificate.
Oh, Tommy's birthday only comes once a year, right? Like,
yeah, that's true. I mean, that's a good
one.
point. That's a good point. Klaus could make weather jokes all the time if he wanted.
Rob also texting him with the jubilations. He was the guy that told you about the Ace Ventura, and he's got more on it here.
I looked it up.
Okay.
I looked it up myself.
Well, this is great. Rob on multiple fronts.
Oh, yeah. This is Rob who sent it in.
Beauty.
So, yeah, it's friends with a parody of Ace Ventura. So it is a merge of both. Brilliant. It's the writing. Wow. This must be phenomenal. All right. Hey, let's do this. Where are you tonight, Rick?
Century Casino Sports Bar Lounge. Not just one game. We got two.
Got 2 games. We're only going to pick the first one. And they're overlapping. But Jags, Bills for the Century Casino Sports Bar Lounge pick'em. Gift certificates to Century Casino just sitting here waiting for you. All right. Do you like the Jags plus 5.5? Or do you like the Bills minus 5.5 points? Those numbers from CoolBet. Jags plus 5.5. Bills minus 5.5 at home. Rick, who do you like?
Give me the Bills.
Okay, I was almost getting road dog ready there. He's on the Bills minus 5.5.
I thought about it.
If you like the Bills, text Bills to 780-218-9999. If you like the Jags, text Jags to 780-218-9999. If you get it correct, go into a draw for a gift certificate tomorrow morning from Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Join Lieutenant Eric tonight for Monday Night Football. He'll be there on Thursday night. And then we got the EST watch party there for the Bombers and the Elks on Friday night. So a big week at the casino for EST. Matt Hymanson says, first a quarterback controversy, and now this?
Yeah, people are limited.
Right? Yeah, you too, Trev. Screwing over Josh Clausen. Holding a grudge from months ago. Unbelievable. Put it in the mist for controversy of the year at the Estes.
Ford MBT? Nay.
Yeah.
This
is the one.
It's got the city talking.
Now you have beef with Klaus. Zacticum has squashed his, and now you're enemy number one. In Clausen's radar, you know? I already see Zach texting Clausen being like, we should do a YouTube Trev diss track together.
Yeah, let's go.
That's why they're in the lab.
Yeah. All right, the hangout's coming up. Stick around. Tommy Gazzola. I think I saw Van Diest come hustling in here.
Yeah, Merman's here.
And Murray McCourt, Van Diest, Tommy Gazzola, lots of Oilers, lots of Elks talk coming down the pipe as well. If you're watching on YouTube, turn on autoplay. Just in the middle of your screen, if you hover over top of the with the mouse over the video, you'll see a little play button. Make sure autoplay is on. That'll take you right on over to the hangout today, assuming the boys set everything up correctly. That'll take you over to the hangout. Back here with the Lock Shop at 11, full NFL recap, full CFL recap with myself and Huss. Oil stream today from 12 until 1. EST afternoons with Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage from 1 to 3. And then the Reed Wilkins Show this afternoon, locked and loaded right here from 3 until 6 today. You know, I want to wrap actually with this. Big Slam Nasty's in. Says, guys, I only ever listened to Reed Wilkins after Oilers lost, and I was in one. But the new show is fantastic. He's one of those guys that should never have to buy a drink anywhere. Such a stud.
Yeah.
It's true. If you've not yet checked out the Reed Wilkins Show, I'm telling you, tune in once from 3 to 6. You'll never not be there for it. Phenomenal program. Reed's a stud muffin. Stud muffin. For YouTube, Trev, Lieutenant Eric, I'm Dustin Nielson. I'll be back with the Lock Shop at 11. Stick around for the hangout. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day and take it easy.